because if we do enough research, Sophie Cunningham was kicked out of a game last year for a similar thing. And people were kicked out. You name the league. You want NBA, you want WNBA, people get kicked out of games. That's par for the course. So I don't believe it what she was saying for that. If I'm taking her for her word, even. What I believe she was saying is that had I did this on Emeka Ugwumike or one of the, Kia Jackson, the Asia Wilson, a black player in the WNBA, if I did this to one of them.
To get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcast it by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
When you guys think of preseason football,
I don't either, but okay. Yes.
There's only one player I think of in the entire history of the NFL when I think of preseason football.
Really?
Wait. Can I guess?
There's one.
You could guess.
Is it LaDainian Tomlinson?
No.
Who is it?
The one player I think of when I think of preseason football, Victor Cruz, because Victor Cruz almost came out of nowhere. That Jets-Giants game.
Yep.
And then after that preseason game, it felt like Victor Cruz went from like a bubble guy coming out of UMass
To a star
in the NFL.
Yes.
Just because of preseason football.
And because of a little salsa dance.
Yes, but he had a moment and he made the most of it. He made the team, right? Changed his life. Yes, that's what Taylor likes. He's a walk-on football player at North Carolina. He likes those stories. True.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gatz.
Yes.
And he Gatz Company.
I love that.
Stu Gatz and Company live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
with whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes the lights off.
It's Stu Gatz and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app. And here's what you need to know.
The Dodgers took the late ball game Friday, beating Milwaukee 3-1 as the Brewers left bases loaded in the ninth against Edwin Diaz. Kansas City was a winner at the Angels 7-6. Jack Caglione, homer, and 5 RBIs. Colorado won at San Francisco 5-2. The Giants will host the All-Star game in 2028. Next year, the Cubs will. The Cubs won Friday at Wrigley Field 3-0 over St. Louis. Cincinnati shut out Miami 1-0. The win to the Reds. Chase Burns, he's 14-2. The White Sox won at Detroit 9-5. Padres won their 6th in a row. Victories for Toronto and for Baltimore. The Orioles won at Tampa Bay 6-5, ending a Rays 9-game winning streak. Houston with 5 in the 10th beat Seattle 10-7. A's down Texas 8-3. In an NFL preseason matchup, Denver dominated at Atlanta 27-7. It was 24-0 at the half. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah! Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That is right. FnA on FSR is back. I am back. Thanks for Adam for holding it down for me last week. Much appreciated. Yes.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you. At KFig1 is where you can find me on X. At Follow Adam A is where you can find Adam on X. And we might even open up the phones here early.
What?
Yeah, here in the first hour.
Since when?
At 877-99 on Fox. Well, based on our first topic of conversation here to start the show, you might want to get your thoughts and see what you think about it.
Okay.
But,
Next caller.
But we do have a pretty big show lined up for you guys today.
We don't even need a producer. Look, Ma, no producer. We're fine
Amy's
here.
over there. Amy's holding it down.
Oh, okay.
For now.
For now. Mark is here.
Yeah.
We're good. Skeleton crew. Do you think, does it say more about us that they respect us so much that they think we don't need a producer? or they don't respect us, so they're like, whatever, they don't need a producer. Which one is it?
However, matter of perspective, right?
They know we've been doing this show for a long time, and long before we had somebody that was paid to give us a rundown and help us with sound and everything.
We did it all, my man.
We'll get by.
Screen calls.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
We have the old talk hotline that we had that we used to get phone calls in on, run the board, play the music, book the guests, talk to the guests.
The Talk Is hotline?
We did all of it. That's funny. I always love Skeleton Crew, and it reminds me, and I forget exactly who the stand-up comedian was. And he says, you ever hear somebody say, like, I'm not fat, I'm just big boned. And he was like, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever met a fat skeleton before. Like, that one always stuck with me. It's like, you got a point.
Actually, in my anatomy class,
here we go.
In college,
all right,
our teacher was on the bigger side, I would say.
Okay.
And she was
big old women down there.
She may have been from San Antonio.
Was she a self-described big bone person?
Oh, she was proud of it.
But they do have some big old women down there.
She talked about using not just her skeleton to help future generations study anatomy, but also she said she'd make a good cadaver.
How does she know that exactly?
Because she was fatter, she said.
Them old big old women sucked all the air out of the arena.
She said they make for better cadavers to study for the students in the class.
More for her to go around, I guess. Is that what it is?
Yeah. More to love, more to study. I don't know. That's what the teacher said.
Well, someone who used to be big boned but now is small and svelte is our guest coming up next hour. Vinny Bonsignore of the California Post. He is out in Kansas City, where the Rams get ready to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's going to talk about the Rams. He's going to talk a little bit about the Raiders, cover them in Fernando Mendoza's debut on Thursday night, talk about the 49ers, and many other big storylines around the NFL, as not only are training camps well underway, preseason is underway. So Vinny Bonsignore will join us at the top of next hour.
We'll also continue our series of previewing every NFL division leading up to kickoff on, is it a Thursday night game between the Patriots and the Seahawks? Is that where it is? The champs get to host it this time around. Obviously, it's in Seattle.
I think it's a Wednesday night, actually.
Is it a Wednesday?
I think they moved to Wednesday.
I think I do that on Wednesday. So we are getting football every day of the week. That is coming
pretty
eventually.
much, yeah.
Okay, but we'll preview the NFC East. We previewed every other division. We still need Kevin's thoughts on the NFC West. My thoughts.
Yeah, the NFC South from last week, which I thought Adam did a very good job.
Oh, yeah.
It was it's such a forgettable division.
To be fair, the Panthers used to be in the old NFC West.
That is true, because that made all the geographic sense in the world, by the way.
Yeah, that was rough for them, and they still dominated at times. Yeah. What's up, 49ers?
Yeah, just as much as it makes sense for the Cowboys to be in the NFC East. You can't get much further east than Arlington, Texas.
Okay, that part of the realignment still doesn't make a ton of sense. You're right.
But they had to keep that together for the rivalry aspect of it. I guess I understand it from that standpoint.
There had to be some teams that suffered in this way. But okay, also coming up later next hour, we'll get into the NBA with the NBA 3. We'll talk about what's happening with the Lakers after 9 months. They have new ownership already. Russell Westbrook just retired. There's a lot to talk about in the NBA as well. We'll get to that at the end of the second hour.
And also, speaking of a little bit later in the show, speaking of the NBA, Christmas has been wrested away out of their hands.
How dare they?
Out of their hands.
My cold, dead hands.
Yeah, I guess not. So we'll see whether or not the NBA should continue to stake its claim and have Christmas be its day, or maybe they should move and pivot onto something else.
All right, let's get things started, though, a little first off.
Let's go.
It's go time.
Let's roll. First off.
So preseason kicked off on Thursday, along with 3 games we had on Friday night as well. And we actually saw a lot of starters get some run these first couple of days. There, Adam and Joe Burrow was out there, Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson tonight.
Operative word, some.
Cortland Sutton had a couple of great catches for Denver on Friday night. Kyle Pitts, Jordan Love played for the Packers the other night. But Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, teaming up yet again with Mike McCarthy, the dynamic duo, if you want to call it that.
I don't call it a duo at all. I think it's mostly just Aaron Rodgers. He was the one that carried them to that Super Bowl win. Mike McCarthy was out there still making dumbass decisions. They just overcame him.
I'm a dumbass.
Mike McCarthy finds a way to win 11 games a year, regardless of where he is, regardless of his shortcomings as a coach. He finds ways to get wins. I'll give him that.
Look, he's a professional. He's an adult in the room, and there is a standard there. But the standard is typically lower than a Super Bowl.
I would say, especially going into this season. But Aaron Rodgers was speaking to the media on Thursday and essentially told them in no uncertain terms, he wasn't playing in the preseason because it doesn't mean anything to anyone ever. Let's take a listen to what Aaron Rodgers had to say earlier this week. We have that, Mark?
I mean, I can be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I'm old enough now. I got a little
It's
bit
different.
gray.
Preseason's a lot different. Teams don't run anything anymore. They just really don't. Even joint practices. I think the first year we were doing them, it was fun because you got to play a team that wasn't going to play how they played in the preseason. They were going to show you a lot of different things they were working on. It was like a real day at camp. But as that got on, it just stopped being like that. It just turned into fights, and nobody showed anything because somebody's brother, is on the staff and they might show them the film and blah, blah, blah. So I think those are a waste of a day. And I think preseason football is good to see guys with the pads on, under the lights, how they react to the nerves, but it's not real regular season football.
So there's no advantage for you?
I don't think so.
I don't know if that last part was very illuminating. It's not regular season football. You're right.
Yeah, no duh.
It's preseason football.
Yes,
we are vanilla defenses. We've been seeing that all our lives.
But is there a problem with that? Because here's the issue. If you're Aaron Rodgers, you've been playing for 5,000 years, and you have 2 feet and 9 toes out of the door.
You make him sound like petrified wood. Speaking of skeletons and fossils,
just saying,
is that Aaron Rodgers now?
He said he's out the door. This is his final season. He's already announced it. This is his retirement tour.
You want something to do, man?
Of course it doesn't mean anything for you. You've seen everything under the sun. You're not going to run out there at 40, 50 years old and get injured.
Yeah, they're not going to surprise you.
I understand it, but for guys on the fringes, like this is a way for them to actually get some real game film out there. Guys who might get cut, who might be vying for practice squad spots, who might be vying for the last spot on a potential NFL roster. It's meaningful for them. You can't just say it's totally meaningless for everybody.
He probably should have considered that first game he ever played with the Jets extended preseason and made sure he actually wasn't out there to tear his Achilles. That's how we should have gone about it. Like, oh, we got an extra game now in the NFL season. We got 17 games. Yeah, I don't need to play in this first game. And that's kind of where I think things will go eventually.
It will.
They'll keep reducing preseason games and they'll keep adding games to the regular season. And I'm somewhat here for it. But tell me if you like this theory, Kevin.
All right.
What about just, I don't know, forgetting preseason altogether, adding 3 or 4 games to the regular season, but also adding like 25 to 30 guys to your roster to where then a month into the NFL season, you have to make cuts. I think that would add some real intrigue here. And I also think it might reduce some of the injuries. Actually use more of your roster. Everybody's talking about the health of guys. We're seeing what's happening with Chris Johnson, the CTE stuff. What if you're rotating more guys in and out? Why don't we just expand rosters? Is this a money issue where guys aren't willing to give up carries, to give up touches because they're paid so much?
I will say owners probably don't want to end up paying, as opposed to paying 60 guys, they don't want to play 90 guys or whatever it is.
Well, just reduce the pay of all the guys. Yeah. They'll be all for that.
I'm sure they'll go for that.
Spread the money around.
I mean, more likely in your system, which they're not going to do it because they have a feeder system and it's called college football at this point in time, is to have basically their own minor league where they can call up and send guys down left and right, kind of like you have the G League. And obviously, Major League Baseball has had this system in place for decades.
Didn't the UFL and XFL merge at some point?
They have merged. Yes, they have. They are still
Where's
together.
arena football in this?
They are not. I think arena football is still around on a much smaller scale than it used to be.
Throw in Canadian Football League and European Football League. Just put them all in a pot.
Yeah, just have your unofficial, or actually have an official minor league system. But again, that's also money out of the owners' pockets. And again, why do they need to do that when they don't have to pay for it? College football feeds them automatically, so you wouldn't need to necessarily do that.
I'm thinking of the health of the players. Okay, I'm a good person over here. I'm not like these rich owners.
You're right. I understand, and you have a point. But my point is there is actual value to the – first of all, there's a fan standpoint and there's a player standpoint, so I want to start when it comes to the player standpoint with Aaron Rodgers. And even with the scrimmages, it's like, oh, it's vanilla. Nobody shows anything.
Hey, it wasn't vanilla when D'Angelo Hall broke his ankle because who crossed him up in that moment of Hard Knocks? DeAndre Hopkins, I think back when he was playing for the Texans. And D'Angelo Hall would be like, no. I didn't get crossed over. I wasn't Tyronn Lue there. I tripped. There was a hole in the ground.
Even if it is vanilla, especially for rookies, guys that don't have a lot of experience, undrafted guys, you at least want to be able to see that they can at least do the most basic things. It's almost like, I guess for an analogy, it's like, I want to make sure that you can do basic arithmetic before I start throwing you in to do algebra. You know, before I start doing all the sophisticated stuff, can you cover a guy man to man? Do you have do you know basic zone concepts? Can you block well? Can you translate what happens from the classroom onto the field against a different opponent? To Aaron Rodgers' point, under the lights, it's just a different environment for a lot of guys. For guys like him, you know, for guys like Dak Prescott who have played forever, sure, it has very little value to you. But to say it has no value whatsoever is short-sighted, and you're shortchanging the other guys, the majority of the guys on the back of your roster.
Well, and dudes are fighting for jobs out there. Remember the Terminator storyline with the New York Jets and whichever time they were on Hard Knocks?
Been on 17 times the Jets have.
That was fun.
4 times with Rex Ryan, it seemed like.
The guy named John Connor.
John Connor, yes. Yeah.
Those storylines do intrigue me towards the end of the preseason, where you're really not seeing any of the starters anymore, where Joe Burrow isn't getting 6 passes off like he got the other night.
But that's a good point. Joe Burrow hadn't played the last couple of preseasons, and Zach Taylor said, you know what? That could be a reason why we've gotten off to slow starts the last few years, because guys haven't played in the preseason.
Oh, really?
Not necessarily the case.
Have his entire defenses not played in the preseason? Because I'm pretty sure it's more to do with the defense giving up 30 points per game.
That has a lot to do with it, too, but even offensively. We talked about this with the Bengals the last couple of seasons. They've gotten off to slow starts even offensively in the first quarter of the season. And, you know, people say, like, oh, we got to use the first few games of the season to work our way into it. It's like, I don't know. You missed the playoffs by a game or two. Those first couple of games matter. Every game matters at that point. So some teams, like the Rams, don't start anybody, never start anybody, doesn't affect them at all. But Zach Taylor doing an audit of his team and says, you know what, maybe getting us some reps in the preseason actually does matter a little bit just to get our feet wet.
So is this one more example of Aaron Rodgers does not speak for everyone?
Yes. One
He's
of
had
many.
a few of those in the past.
One of all, it seems like. You know,
I would like the other end of the spectrum, someone much younger maybe here to weigh in on what preseason means to them as maybe a newly drafted player, second-year guy.
Let me get Caleb down. Say, preseason don't mean squat. Let me just be ready for regular season action with the Cowboys, and I'll be good.
I feel like they'd have a different answer.
Now, from a fan engagement standpoint, I think it's a little more interesting and nuanced, because it's meaningful to you if you love football and it doesn't matter who's playing. And you say, I'll watch Pop Warner, I'll watch the NFL, I'll watch the UFL. There's a select number of people who are like that. And it doesn't matter if I recognize the names on the back of the jerseys or not. So I understand that outlook. Should fans care? That's up to you. Do many of them care? I think outside of your own individual team, you probably don't. The way I look at preseason football, Adam, is almost like regular season baseball to a degree. You kind of follow.
You hear that, Rob Manfred?
For the most part,
preseason NFL.
I'm just being honest with you.
You're not wrong.
You follow your team. You watch all of your team's games. If there's some intrigue with a certain matchup, if Mizorowski is facing off against School or something, and you're not a fan of either of those teams, then you'd watch possibly. But generally speaking, I'm not watching the Cardinals take on the Steelers in a preseason game on a random Saturday night in August. But my team, my favorite team, who I read all the articles and keep up with the practice reports, I want to see those guys and see how they play on the field. That's kind of how I equate it.
Preseason football is a fluffer. It's foreplay to getting to the actual NFL game.
To use that verbiage, yeah.
That gets everybody going.
That's not sexual?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there is something to building up that excitement till the climax of the NFL kicking off.
The problem is, and I think this is where having only 3 instead of 4 preseason games, it used to be 5 for the teams that were played in the Hall of Fame game.
God, that's excessive.
And it's going to get reduced again. Once they add more regular season games, they're going to take away preseason games. After about the first half of the first game, maybe game 2, unless you have a lot of intrigue and you have a rookie out there. If you're a Raider fan and Fernando Mendoza, is going to play snaps in the preseason throughout the entire preseason.
And that's a team in a different part of their life cycle where more young guys are going to be playing in the preseason, so there could be more intrigue from Raiders fans.
Definitely. But if you're the Cowboys and nobody's going to be out there playing of all your veterans, and why should they? Why am I even watching? What's the point? After the first game where you just jonesing for football and I finally see some, it's the giant star and Jerry's out there acting important on the sideline, but then there's just a bunch of backups out there and it's like, why do I care?
Let me ask you a question here.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
What are the most memorable preseason moments you can recall? Because for the most part, for me, it's just about guys getting injured in the preseason.
Somebody get a body
bag. There's like everybody talks about Terrell Davis making the tackle on special teams, but I can't sit here and act like I remember that in the moment.
No, we saw that in the documentary and when he made the Hall of Fame.
That's part of his legacy, but I didn't see that happen live. I don't remember that.
Just because it swayed Mike Shanahan to keep him on the team as a 6th-round pick.
I do remember the Hall of Fame game when the expansion Houston Texans and your guy Dom Capers with David Carr.
3-4 defense.
And Jeremy Shockey, who had just won a national championship with Miami, was a first-round pick by the Giants.
He showed out.
Caught a pass, ran over like 3 dudes.
Yes.
And John Madden was like, oh, bro, this is like Mark Bavaro, who was a great Giant tight end from back in the day. I remember that.
The Packers?
Yeah, no, he was
Who
with the
was he
Giants.
with?
The Giants.
Okay.
Mark Bavaro was with the Giants. But outside of that, standout preseason performances, you remember injuries, like I remember Trent Green getting hurt.
Yep.
I do remember that vividly.
Just heal me.
And we obviously know the fallout with Kurt Warner being the starter, and the rest was history with the greatest show on turf.
Jason Sehorn tearing up his knee.
Oh, my knee.
Right?
You mentioned Shockey. The other performance I remember, I think the first play maybe of his career in the preseason, Sean Taylor had a pick 6. Somebody was backed up at the goal line, and just his great instincts, ball hawk, got it, ran it in, easy, light work for him. And I was like, oh, my God. This guy, like we didn't already know coming out of Miami that he'd be good, but he showed up in his first game.
Most definitely.
There's a few instances like that. Romanowski breaking Kerry Collins' jaw, who was on the Carolina Panthers, and they were coming off a 12-4 season, making the NFC Championship game back in '96. Well, I remember that.
They called me Mr. Glass.
Because then they went 7-9 the next season.
Sounds like you remember it like it was yesterday.
Well, Collins was never the same after that. You know, he was on his way up coming out of Penn State. He had that big second season. They got within a game of going to the Super Bowl. That was one that always stuck with me. But outside of that, it's not a lot of plays. It's
he got there eventually, at least with the Giants.
Did he?
Didn't go well.
But did he really?
But didn't go. I mean, he was there.
First of all, I don't know how he got there and how they beat up Minnesota the way they did in that
like
NFC
48 to nothing or something in an NFC title game?
Some say they intercepted some of their plays on the walkie-talkie.
It almost feels like they
so
had to.
out of the ordinary.
That was Randy Moss, Chris Carter. Like, that was like a high-flying Minnesota. Like, there's no way.
Was that Culpepper's first year?
I think that was Dante, because I think that the previous year was Randall's last year. So I think Culpepper stepped in that year.
That team was stacked. I mean, multiple times we should have had the Minnesota Vikings with the Randy Moss era there. And for whatever reason, Gary Anderson, they didn't end up making it to the Super Bowl.
You couldn't blame Gary when it came to that Giants ass kicking. That's for damn sure.
Not quite close enough.
But as far as you listeners go, when it comes to preseason football, are you into it? Are you jonesing for it? Does it do anything for you after the first quarter of your first game? Are you still watching? Are you just a big-time football fan and you'll watch regardless? 877-99 on Fox is the number. You can also hit us up on X if you like, at KFig1 and at Follow Adam A. Your calls coming up next, FnA on FSR.
It's time to salivate. Time to get hyped.
Let's go, fellas, let's go.
And most importantly, time to lock in.
NFL football's back.
Football's back.
We're go. I am ready for football.
Be like football. The NFL preseason is here on Fox Sports Radio.
Ice Cube's Big 3 Season 9 is coming down to the wire. The playoffs are here. The action starts with the legendary Big 3 Celebrity Game. Then the Chicago Triplets, led by Montrezl Harrell and Coach Dr. J, take on Coach Gary Payton and the Boston Ball Hogs. Followed by two-time MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champion Miami 305 facing Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Pop. Games of the most physical, competitive, and nonstop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. You know what's slower than a pace car? Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast fun. With new games every week, you'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck in the slow lane, speed up with Chumba. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gotts and Company. Live.
It's so good.
Cavino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube. Wow. By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
It's Ben Maller.
It's the gas bag on the radio who is tossing verbal raspberries at you.
Your late night getaway. The big dog.
Big.
Got it?
I disagree.
Good.
So I have abstract art, Fisher Price, and the Mighty Zoltar.
What the hell did he just say?
It's the Ben Maller Show.
What kind of acid was someone on when they cooked this up?
Listen on the overnights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
I'm fired up.
You guaranteed to get some with that.
When Dan Patrick speaks, you better stop and listen.
Here's a scenario for you.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
And I'm waiting to see Jordan Love be consistent. You know, there's been pockets where you go, wow. You know, Caleb, with another year with Ben Johnson, you got some weapons there. I would probably put the Bears over the Packers, at least not right now. Yeah, Paul?
It did feel like the Bears lived on the edge too often. I don't know how sustainable that could be in another 17 games.
Yeah, I brought that up with Washington. Jaden Daniels' first year, I said, that's not sustainable. You're not going to be able to win all of those games on like last plays, last minute. Then they had the injuries because I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs last year. But even if Jaden Daniels doesn't get injured. Yes, Mark.
Is this last call for the Lions as far as being a Super Bowl contender? Because to me, they're up there with the Bills and the Ravens as, oh, we got to get there.
Yeah, but I got everybody under contract here. I got Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, Penny Sewell. So I've got guys under contract here. So I would give them maybe 2 years with this window. But yeah, it feels like it's a window's closing just a little bit here. Yes, Mark.
Is it weird to me that I feel like they're in a win-win situation? Like if they don't get to the Super Bowl in 20 years, Lions fans are going to look at them and look how good we were for this stretch of time.
I don't know if that's a win-win because they haven't had this hope. And all you have the game. You're going to win the game against the Niners. You're going to the Super Bowl.
If you want to know what Dan Patrick said next, just podcast it by searching The Dan Patrick Show. And as always, you can listen to Dan Patrick live weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. I did. It's Dan Patrick. Yeah, him. You trust Dan. You need Dan.
Nobody needs to know that.
Because without Dan, mornings just wouldn't be the same.
This is guaranteed to go wrong. Horribly wrong. Absolutely.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Need I say more?
Shut up. That, to me, was a little cringeworthy there.
Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Right here.
I want publicity.
On Fox Sports Radio.
Whoa.
Why, hello there.
You're listening all day. You're listening all night. Now, you can watch us on YouTube. That's right. On Instagram and X. Watch us yell.
Do it. I'm wrong. It makes me sick.
Watch us sing.
One shining moment. Somebody. Tacos and teas, bets and Joe Montana.
Watch us dominate.
I listen to you guys every day.
And that's kind of a big deal.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Good stuff.
And that's it.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Hold on to your butts.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. Be sure to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube, and you'll see our best videos from all of our shows. Hit the thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know whose takes you agree with and even those you don't. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube and subscribe.
No producer, no problem tonight. I'm Adam Moslin. He's Kevin Figures. Coming up, we got Vinny Bonsignor joining us from Kansas City to talk more NFL, get his perspective at the top of next hour. Next segment, we got a little bit of Stranger Than Fiction.
Okay.
Animal related.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
This is going many different directions. I've seen a lot of weird animal stories this week.
Dude, what about the mountain lion infestation?
Yeah.
More mountain lions being caught in Southern California, more than ever, and we've been on top of those
There's
stories.
sharks all over the place. Hammerhead shark was spotted in Malibu on Friday.
I'm too scared to even talk about that. But we do have a caller here. Emmett, I believe it is.
Emmett. Let's go to Emmett.
Emmett,
what's on your mind?
What's going on, Kevin and Adam? How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great, brother. How about you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So for preseason, I'm kind of like in the middle of like, I don't care, but also there's some intrigue to it. Like I'm a Seahawks fan, so I kind of want to see like the guys we drafted, and that's kind of been the thing for like years now. But also like I was definitely interested last night in watching Fernando Mendoza play for the Las Vegas Raiders. Thought he looked good, may I add, but like it's certain rookies for me. Like I'm not going to plan my Saturday night, like you were saying, Kevin, around I'm going to watch a preseason game. I mean, I will tomorrow because the Seahawks play, but like unless it's something else, like my team, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. If it's on, I'm cool with it, and I'm going to research the rookies. That's all I'm doing for preseason.
Yeah, good call, Emmett, and I feel that too, because even in watching it, and as a Raider fan, appreciate the call, Emmett. Thanks. Obviously, I'm interested in Fernando Mendoza as well, but also I want to see Jeremiah Love, who had a couple of good runs for the Cardinals in that matchup. So you tune in to see a couple of impact rookies or a couple of guys who you might have your eye on, you might be intrigued by if you're a fantasy nut.
I was going to say.
Especially if there's young guys you haven't seen before, you want to see how they look at playing at NFL game speed. I can certainly understand that.
Yeah, if you're dumpster diving, if you're looking for a fantasy football player, that could be a bargain because maybe he shows up in a preseason game and you think that may move him up in the depth chart somewhere and nobody else saw it or nobody else has the foresight that you do, the vision. That's another reason to watch preseason football. And yeah, it's regional, as you mentioned earlier, just like with Major League Baseball, which has become very much regional. It can be regional, and it could also just be, well, is it my team playing? Outside of that, I'm not that interested unless you give me enough storylines. And let me tell you, there were not enough storylines for me to watch the Jets tonight, even though Ian Eagle was on the call, which I do appreciate.
You call Noah the baby goat?
Young goat.
So is there a nickname for?
It's definitely not the old goat.
I am not the able to say let's tread lightly on that.
The OG goat, the original.
You know, something that we debated around this time last year when our FnA and FSR journey was kicking off there, Adam. I don't know our exact 1-year anniversary at what point, but I know it was around this time last year.
No one cares. I mean, no, we're definitely going to celebrate. I think Bree has a cake for us. She's actually going to fill in and produce that night.
No one cares that much. I'll put it that way.
Fair enough.
I care slightly. I definitely don't care that much.
I'll wait for the 10-year like high school.
To throw a party about it. But one of the first hot debates that we had was about Micah Parsons and the trade that went down between the Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. And, you know, I argued that you don't trade a generational talent at a premium position. You try to fortify around him. And you argued, well, how big of a difference is he actually making if the defense is trash? Even if he's a great individual player, shouldn't you want to trade him away and get more depth on your defense as a unit?
You're the first person in a long time not to mischaracterize one of my arguments. Thank you.
Am I?
That doesn't happen very often in today's world.
There's still time. There's a couple 2.5 hours left in the show. So what Dallas ultimately ended up getting from that trade, so they get Kenny Clark, they get a couple of first-round picks. The 2026 pick from this past April's draft goes to Malachi Lawrence, 23rd overall. They traded the 2027 pick to acquire Quinnen Williams. They also got more cap flexibility. They signed Rashawn Gary. They get Jalen Thompson in free agency. They actually signed Quinnen Williams to an extension earlier this week. And I think one thing that gets buried too, the fact that they had the money to be able to put the franchise tag on George Pickens, having that money available certainly doesn't help.
I believe there was a guy who pointed out that could be a possibility by not signing Micah Parsons.
Oh, yeah. I still would rather have Micah Parsons than George Pickens personally, but that's me.
And what's not just George Pickens. That's just a part of it.
We'll get deeper into that as well. But first, let's hear what Jerry Jones had to say when he was asked earlier this week whether or not the Cowboys won the trade.
It's like going to Las Vegas with some extra money in your pocket or going out there with the baby's new pair of shoes and formula money in your pocket. You can't be as good a crap shooter as you are when you've got the baby's new pair of shoes going out there with it. So in a way, this actually created a mental part to us and to my role in it with me to step out and make the moves and take the, if you will, risks that are involved in it, which there are, to be where we are today with a complete makeover of the defense.
Yeah, there was an earlier part in that soundbite where, he talks about the fact that first we were in the position to have someone as great as Micah to get the kind of return that we had. He equated it to the Herschel Walker trade to a certain degree, and it says if you have more assets, you can take more risks. And if you trust your process, you're going to hit on some of those guys and you're going to miss on some of those guys. It actually made a lot of sense. I understood where he was coming from with that analogy.
I did not understand the old adage of baby needs a new pair of shoes or daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Kind of lost me on that one.
That's old school. I think when you're throwing the dice, come on, daddy needs a new pair of shoes. I think that's one of the sayings, but it's a little bit past our time there. But hey, way to go, Jerry.
His argument is not crazy. Like Parsons, elite player. Dallas turned the outgoing value into multiple defenders and cap flexibility. Now all those guys have to hit and produce for you to say. First of all, I'll just say this. I don't think it's fair to say who quote unquote won the trade until we actually see what actually ends up happening.
Well,
because if Micah Parsons ends up having and obviously his health is a big part of it, and we don't even know at what point in the season he'll join the Green Bay Packers. But if he has a Reggie White or Charles Woodson type of impact on this Packers defense and helps them win a championship, and the Cowboys don't win a championship, I mean, who won the trade? I think it's pretty cut and dry at that point.
Here's what I don't like about this. It sure seemed like it was fair to say who won the trade when everybody was saying it was lopsided, and it was obviously the Packers when it first went down. But now that it's looking better for the Cowboys, people aren't willing to say that they won the trade. I'm just saying, you got to keep that same energy if you were one of those people, and you weren't.
I did not say it was lopsided. I just said I wouldn't make the trade at all.
A lot of people were adamant that the Cowboys screwed up here and they lost, and there were winners and losers immediately. Now, we took a step back and we let it marinate while we were on different sides, and we still may be.
We are.
This still needs to play out here. That's fair.
Yeah.
But a lot of my logic is what's rising to the surface now, and people are starting to see it, and this has been the talk of the week. Actually, the Cowboys, they're sitting pretty. Maybe Jerry Jones, he's old dog can learn new tricks. Like, that's what it looks like. I remember that saying. I know that adage, and I think that applies to Jerry Jones maybe.
Now, that goes into hoping that this all works itself out. Now, they're going to be better defensively because they can't be worse than they were last year.
Well, there's no guarantees it's going to work out with Mike and the Packers either.
No, that's true. You're right. But this idea is like, oh my God, the Cowboys were great. Well, maybe they were, maybe they weren't. So I believe when you have a generational player at a premium position at pass rusher who can be a game changer, who, by the way, this entire idea that like the Cowboys defense for Michael Parsons' tenure was god awful the entire time he was there. His first 3 years there, they were top 5.
That's fair.
And from I forget the exact metric and what it's called. It's not wins above replacement, but whatever the NFL metric is for that, he was their best the first 2 years of his career. He was basically their most valuable player based on the WAR metric. And then all of a sudden, when Dan Quinn takes the Washington job and they bring in Matt Eberflus to be the defensive coordinator, actually Mike Zimmer, and he was awful. And then Matt Eberflus, and he was awful. They blow it up and change everything. So,
and by the way, Kevin knows this team at a pretty good granular level since he covers them and broadcasts for them.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, working on their broadcast on Compass Media Networks. I do have an intimate knowledge to a certain degree of how the roster works and how the team works. So the idea that the defense was just god awful the entire time Parsons was there is a misnomer.
The last year was bad. They were giving up 28 per game. He wasn't having the impact you would expect from a guy that caliber, but you're completely right. It wasn't like that the entire time.
And, ideas like, oh, you have to open up cap space and find ways to fortify the roster. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but when you have a player of this caliber, I think you find a way to be able to figure it out. Look, you could have traded your 2027 first-round pick and gotten Quinnen Williams, and all of a sudden you have Micah Parsons and Quentin Williams, and you have that push up front and on the edge. You're talking about the potential of having Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald inside and outside, potentially.
If you can afford to keep paying them both for a while.
You're the Dallas Cowboys. You can go cash over cap. You can find a way to make it work.
This ain't the Dodgers. This ain't.
I know it's not Major League Baseball. And the Rams can find a way to pay all these guys. The Dallas Cowboys can too.
Oh, they're saying F them picks is how they pay for him. I did see this stat from Quentin Williams when they brought him in last season, which was impressive.
And it proved, yeah.
They were giving up 143 yards per rush at the beginning of the year without him.
Run, bitch! Run!
Everybody was running on the Cowboys. After they got Quentin Williams, they were only giving up 105 yards per game, and 3 times they held opponents to under 80 yards on the ground. So it's not just him as a pass rusher. It is him really stabilizing the middle of their defense. He made a huge difference. Now, it wasn't enough to get to the playoffs, but my point was always he was never going to be, even if he didn't get this extension, he was still under contract. He was not a rental, so it made sense to trade for him. And he's still cheaper than Micah Parsons. You could say Parsons is better. That's fair. I don't know if it's a significant enough difference given the difference in salary both these guys are making. And now you can move some of that money around to fortify some of the other positions on this team.
I mean, I can find, now granted, I don't want to discount Quentin Williams because he's one of the best at what he does. Like I can find a guy that can stuff the run. I don't know how easy it is to find someone who can, average 15 sacks a season and be that dominant on the edge.
It's not, but some of those guys also, you look at Crosby, is his team winning? No, even with Myles Garrett, he was getting all those sacks. Was his team winning? It's like some of these guys, and this even applies to Aaron Donald back when he was, I think, probably the best player in football with the Rams. The difference between him and the next best guy at his position was greater than anybody else, and the next best guy at their position. But can he impact the game as much, as great as he was? Now, he still found ways. Don't get me wrong. He's a generational player, and I think he could still dominate and be a Pro Bowler when he comes back. I'm expecting it to happen with the Rams. But it does matter the position you play, and some of those stats don't exactly tell the entire story.
You have to be able to enhance his talents by surrounding him with people that can help with that. And getting a generational player at a position like that, I don't think the answer is, well, we suck, so let's get rid of him. It's like, no, we have someone who is this great, who is this dominant at an impact position. What can we do to make sure that we enhance his abilities and put people around him to make him the Rams did that with Aaron Donald, by the way. They went, and then he ended up making one of the biggest plays in his career against the 49ers and getting that sack.
Throwing down Joe Burrow at the end of the Super Bowl.
At the Super Bowl, he did it against Jimmy Garoppolo in the NFC Championship game. He was placed in a position to be able to do that because they were able to put pieces around him.
I don't disagree with the logic and the rationale. I'm not saying that you're completely wrong or you're obviously wrong or anything like that. And I never said that. I would never.
You didn't. No. Well, you can disagree.
I think there's an argument just on both sides. And I'm taking the other side where I can see where Jerry Jones was coming from in the Dallas Cowboys while everybody else was zigging. I was zagging a little bit. And like big picture wise, this could work out for them. And right now it's looking like it might.
Part of me still feels like this was an ego thing for Jerry Jones because there was no talk of trading him initially. They had this handshake, wink agreement. The agent wasn't involved. And then it kind of all went downhill. Then Micah requested one. So I still think there's a little bit of like an ego play to a certain degree when it comes to Jerry Jones. And if he had his druthers, he would rather keep Micah Parsons. One thing that I will say,
I think that's still an element.
The Cowboys offense potentially, and we'll talk about this when we get to our NFC preview coming up next hour, NFC East preview. Their offense has the potential to be so great and dominant. The defense just needs to be decent for them to be considered a team that can win 11, 12 games and be into the postseason and potentially make an impact.
Yeah.
So there's an element of the defense doesn't have to be great. They just need to be somewhat respectable, which they weren't for the majority of last season. And getting more talent overall on the defense and just making them an okay unit as opposed to trying to swing for the fences, I think there's an argument to be made that based on how their offense is structured, They just need a defense that can just keep them in games.
They look like the Lakers going into this season. Their offense might be so good they can carry them if their defense is just okay. They don't have to be top 10. Just don't be bottom 10 or don't be bottom 5, and you're going to be in a lot of games, as you mentioned there. I think the Cowboys could be very dangerous, but I do like the mindset of Quinnen Williams and everything he's been talking about. Not so much concern with the contract, getting paid and all that. He's showing leadership and just saying, I'm trying to win
break time
every day. I think that's also a factor to why Dallas was able to pony up for him. It's the right guy, the right temperament to help lead your defense too. And there were some question marks. Don't get me wrong. None of this should override the play, but there were some question marks about Micah Parsons and like how vocal of a leader he was. And I'm not saying that's the difference between these two and that's why you do it. I'm just saying it's kind of a bonus maybe with Quinnen Williams and getting that part of him.
Yeah, I mean, some guys can be vocal leaders. Some guys lead by example. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong or a better or a worse, but it could be that his temperament is better for this locker room than Micah's was. Only the guys who are in there know the answer to that question. What's coming up next?
A little bit of Stranger Than Fiction. Not one, but two snake stories, and neither of them take place on a plane. I'm Adam Moslin. He's Kevin Figures. This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Watching us on YouTube has never been easier.
That's absolute fact.
From the show clips
It's on.
to the live shows that you love.
There's something for everyone.
Fox Sports Radio on YouTube is for you.
Yeah.
Check it out now.
It is a no-brainer.
Come on now.
Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Hey, why not?
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ice Cube's Big 3 Season 9 is coming down to the wire. The playoffs are here. The action starts with the legendary Big 3 Celebrity Game. Then the Chicago Triplets, led by Montrezl Harrell and Coach Dr. J, take on Coach Gary Payton and the Boston Ball Hogs. Followed by two-time MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champion Miami 305 facing Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. 3 games of the most physical, competitive, and nonstop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
This is The Herd. When Colin Cowherd drops the info, The Herd, you need to listen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, the Lakers have a new owner. Here's what I found out about Bob Iger, mid-70s, chairman forever, running Disney, is that the NBA and Adam Silver, starting Sunday, had to find a new owner for the Lakers. And things ramped up very quickly. Bob Iger was very, very well paid, very well compensated at Disney. Not $12.5 billion by an NBA team compensated. He and Kushner were the leaders in the clubhouse for the expansion Las Vegas franchise. That was $7.5 billion. This is $12.5 billion. That's out of Iger's range. This is like going from buying the Rays in Tampa to buying the Yankees. It is a whole different ballpark, even for rich guys. But here's the key to it. The Lakers matter to the NBA. And Adam Silver doesn't want them tossed around and flipped like a 1993 Honda Civic. So he had to get somebody who understands television, who's negotiated for the league, who understands the sport. I mean, Iger was always kind of known as a Clipper fan more than a Laker fan. Kushner money, Iger is the face of Laker ownership because it's one thing to own an expansion team. Most of you can't name 50% of the owners in this league, but everybody knows who owns the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Cubs or the Eagles or the 49ers or the Cowboys. That's what you have here. And Iger is a great front man. He's put money down. Don't get me wrong. He's put a lot of money down. But
if you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The Herd. And as always, you can listen live to Colin Cowherd weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
I hear he's amazing.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Wow. The Lakers got sold again. Maybe it was an offer that they couldn't refuse. But if you buy it for $10 billion 10 months ago and you sell it for over $12 billion, I would say that's a nice return. But why are you selling unless it's an offer that you can't refuse? Now, you might say, well, he made $2 billion. Okay. And he also owns the Dodgers, or majority owner with the Dodgers. But I don't know. Lakers are being sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger. There's a lot of people involved in trying to get the expansion franchise in Vegas. And they must have been told, you're not getting it. And they probably thought, okay, why don't we make a wild offer here? Can we give Mark Walter an offer he can't refuse? Let's give him $2.5 billion more than he paid for.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is the Jason Smith Show.
Check this out.
Pay attention. With Mike Harmon.
Speaking of money, basically, here's a guy that owns the Dodgers, owns the Lakers, and now being investigated for federal loan fraud. So all of a sudden, hey, man, got to start liquidating.
That's it.
Okay, I guess I got to pick. All right, let's sell the Lakers. We'll sell the Lakers instead. There is no, just to hear people talk today and say things like, it was just a deal. This was the way it was always made. Yeah, because that's what you do. You meant to buy the Lakers to flip them. The Lakers are flip that basketball team. Flip that NBA team. I took over a team that, the roof was leaked and we didn't have a garage. And look what I've done in a year now. Look, it's always worth because the guy that's worth $25 billion gets into buying the Lakers only to flip them a year later. Right. That's how it goes.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. One more Dan Patrick. That sounds like he might be touchable. One more Colin Cowherd.
Be honest about it.
How about some more Covino and Rich?
Fox Sports Radio Nation, your thoughts?
The most inclusive show on Fox Sports Radio.
More Fox Sports Radio?
Any way you want this, I can make it happen.
Then it's yours. All of it.
We love it!
Download the iHeartRadio app and indulge while you do things.
Do it.
That's a good thing.
This is Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Well, with all that, it sounds like you've got a pretty big night planned, huh?
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on FSR. Thank you, Emmy. Apparently, it is our 1-year anniversary today, Adam.
FnA,
5 days ago today, last year.
Are you
It
serious?
was our first show here on Fox Sports Radio.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Celebration, bitches. Let's go.
We'll be-
Emmy, thanks for the research on that.
We'll be celebrating with our friend Vinny B from the California Post coming up in the very next segment to go around the NFL preseason carousel.
A fast food customer defending her decision to call 911 after her McDonald's ran out of McNuggets.
You can't give a drunk man riding a horse a DWI because unlike cars, horses don't have motors. They have a mind of their own.
Strange things began to happen.
A 24-year-old man accused of throwing an alligator through a drive-through window.
911, what is your emergency? Go too high.
Stranger than fiction.
You know my phobia.
Spiders, light, bats. Yeah.
Something elemental like a bat, as Christian Bale said in Batman Begins.
Love.
Yeah, that can be scary too. Hate. There's a lot of things that could terrify you. A lot of phobias out there. I forget what the phobia is called for being afraid of snakes, but the one thing that scares me more than a snake is a snake with a blowtorch.
Like a snake that spits out fire?
Yeah, darling.
Okay.
Or whatever the name was.
He's on fire! Didn't know that was a thing, but okay.
That basically happened yesterday in Virginia, where at Forest Middle School in Bedford, Virginia, a class python escaped its terrarium and terrorized the school by knocking over a heat lamp and causing a fire that damaged not one, not two, not three, but 8 classrooms in the middle of the night, which had firefighters having to wrangle not just the fire, but an 8-foot python. They said when they found the snake, it was sharpening a number 2 pencil, probably using that as a weapon next. Like, dangerous. I'm like Muldoon from Jurassic Park. I just feel like they should all be destroyed. All snakes.
Snakes are part of the circle of life, Adam.
Okay, not my circle.
If
They're
we
not
don't-
in my inner circle. I don't need
If
them
we
there.
don't have snakes, then you're going to be infested with rats. You want that?
I'll settle for rats.
Would you? Okay.
Honestly, I will. I'll take out the BB gun. We'll be fine.
I don't think I would, to be honest with you. I hate snakes
Splinters
too.
running wild.
Yeah,
I got cats. I can handle rats.
Okay.
That's not a problem,
I don't
man.
know. Not those New York rats.
Bedford County Public Schools said the 8 classrooms damaged by fire and water because it sets off the sprinklers and then it starts to flood.
Right.
They will be temporarily closed for repairs. But the worst part about this story, though, is that the damage will not delay the start of the school year scheduled for August.
I'm sure the kids
19th.
are so disappointed.
I know. School's out for pythons.
So wait, the python, I assume, for those who care, the python is safe, right?
Yeah, the python's fine.
The python didn't catch on fire like Anaconda or anything. you know?
No, unfortunately. Yeah, the end
I
of
mean,
Anaconda.
what do you mean, unfortunately?
I just mean
All right.
it
PETA's,
started
PETA's on line 3 for you, Adam.
Snakes.
better PETA than a snake. Now, this wasn't the only snake story, and it's not just about pythons here that came about this week.
All right.
In Wilson County, Tennessee, a woman driving on the freeway noticed something on the hood of her car. It was a 5-foot-long gray rat snake.
There we go.
Non-venomous.
Yep.
So the driver starts to pull over, and there's video of this, and the snake just tucked and rolled like Leo and one or another. It just bailed and hit the eject button.
Oh, I'm out.
Seriously.
You're out.
The snake was then seen attempting to hitchhike on the side of the road later, but no one picked it up. Maybe the thumb for the snake, which
And
I
a little hard to
don't have.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him, but tough to see. That happened. I think both of these happened in the last 48 hours. Snakes are running wild.
So did you see the report from earlier this week? And I believe it was Arkansas. I believe it was a high school kid who practiced the entire time with a cottonmouth in his helmet.
Now that is poisonous.
Yeah, yes, it was a poisonous cottonmouth. And I was like, helmet feels a little weird. Took it off. Cottonmouth sitting right there.
What if that was the cure for CTE?
Getting bitten in the head by a snake with a cottonmouth?
Okay, we're going to need a disclaimer after that segment.
Stuffing a cottonmouth into your helmet. That's what that's.
Kids, do not try this at home. I was obviously joking. This is not the way to go here.
And then there was the one out here where you had the 2 rattlesnakes who were doing like a snake dance.
Oh, I
on the
did see
side,
that.
on the side of the road.
Was it sexual or were they fighting?
I couldn't, maybe a little bit of both. Makeup sex. I don't know.
Oh, that's some kinky stuff with the snakes.
I don't know if snakes got into it like
What's
that.
your snake kink? I was going to say, when's the last time you seen a snake out in the open?
Ooh,
30.
It's been a long time. I couldn't tell you.
Quiz, hot shot.
I don't go
Good
outside.
for you.
I don't go outside, Adam. So that's the issue.
Smart man.
Yeah.
I just saw a snake sign recently in Burbank, like, don't tread on me, watch for rattlesnakes in this area, and that was freaky enough.
Hey, when's whacking day? Call me when the time comes.
That's not sexual?
Speaking of, all right.
Coming up next,
10.
we got him. Vinny Bonsignor will join us. Top
5 seconds.
NFL, including the Raiders quarterback battle, right here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing. You know what feels like forever? Sitting on a plane waiting for takeoff. Good thing I've got Chumba Casino. With daily boost and social casino games on tap, this is the kind of fun that makes time fly. Why not turbocharge your downtime? Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season is heating up, and it all comes down to this. The Big 3 playoffs are coming to Dallas, Texas. The 4 best teams in the Big 3 battle it out for a spot in the championship. The action starts with the legendary Big 3 Celebrity Game. 3 games of the most physical, competitive, and nonstop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Yay, yay! FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
These guys are sick, man.
the Mount Rushmore of money.
Money?
Which is like, whoa. Mount Rushmore of money.
I'm in.
You got 4 spots. You have four franchises. Who would be worth the most money?
So we're doing this over the major 4 sports. Is that what we're doing here?
Well, if you're putting the Lakers out there because they're sold for $12.5 billion. Okay, so you know that's the money. You know that's the money. If you did the biggest one from each sport and then you threw in a wild card. Okay. Biggest one from each sport and a wild card. So in the NBA, I got news for you. It ain't the Lakers.
No, it ain't.
Okay.
No.
The Knicks would go for a couple of billion more.
Yeah.
And maybe $3 billion over that if MSG was included.
$3 billion.
All of a sudden you're getting now it up to $3 billion. The Knicks would go for about $15 billion.
Easy.
And if Dolan included MSG, I mean, what, $20 billion, right? That would be
You might get close to that.
So you have the Knicks are ahead of the Lakers on that list. In Major League Baseball, the Yankees. The Yankees would be worth the most. They would go for about $12 billion, 12 to $14 billion. Right, the Dodgers worth a lot of money. We know what they are, but the Yankees would go for a little bit more. Because the Yankees, with all of the agreements they have, the TV, the Yankees there would be a bigger bidding war for mainly because there would be a bigger bidding war for the Yankees than there would be for the Dodgers. Because if you're bidding on the Dodgers, you're going, I'm going to own this team. Yeah. Guess what?
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Now that I think about it, why wasn't Bill Belichick in, right? We had this conversation months ago when they announced the finalists, folks who were going to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. And we knew Bill Belichick had a chance to be, and he did not get the 40 votes that he needed. And right there, controversy ensues. We have a bunch of conversations, but Adam Vinatieri, because he brings them back up, starts the conversation again of that should have been Bill Belichick because he should have been there first ballot Hall of Fame. When you mention all the stuff he does in football, all the titles he has as a head coach, not to mention that when he was an assistant coach with the Giants, of course, should have had some there as well. The conversation begins, why wasn't he there again? And I got to go back to this. Do I believe you deserve to be up in the Hall of Fame? Yes. And I think all of those things came back to bite him in the butt, even though we all know he is a dynamic coach.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Jason Smith.
You ready?
Mike Harmon.
And that's it.
We put the sports world on notice.
We're going to do our thing.
We've taken 2 of the best to disrupt the status quo.
That's not a bad idea.
Do you agree, Mike Harmon?
Oh, hell yeah. Good for them.
Did we mention their best friends?
Smith and I, we butt heads about a lot of things.
They both need help.
It's the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. And here's what you need to know.
In an NFL exhibition Friday night, Tampa Bay won at the Jets 24-16. Jets QB Geno Smith was out with a sore foot, but the Jets did lead 10-0 in the first quarter with rookie Cade Klubnik at quarterback. The Cleveland Cavaliers are trading Dennis Schroeder to the Hornets. WNBA, Indiana over Dallas 98-87. Caitlin Clark, 29 points, 10 assists, 1 turnover. Venus Williams lost her first-round match in Cincinnati. Scottie Scheffler leads in Memphis by 3 strokes. In baseball's late game, the Dodgers held on 3-1 over Milwaukee. The win to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The Brewers left bases loaded in the 9th against Edwin Diaz. Houston got another homer from Yordan Alvarez, number 36 of the year. And Houston then scored 5 runs in the 10th to beat Seattle 10-7. A's over Texas 8-3. The Padres won their 6th straight. White Sox won 9-5 at Detroit. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moot.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah! Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That is right. Hour 2 of FnA on FSR. You guys want to hit us up on X, you can. At KFig1 is where you can find me. You can find Adam at Follow Adam A. We are at FnA Show on X as well. Coming up next segment, we will get into the NFC East. We will continue our preview of all of the divisions in the NFL leading up to opening night, and we will touch on the NFC East coming up in the very next segment. But right now, Adam, who do we have?
Phone's ringing, dude. Thank you, Donnie.
Well, join the show tonight on the 1-year anniversary of FnA on Fox Sports Radio. It's a guy we've known a little bit longer than that, and he's been covering the Raiders a little bit longer than that. Not so long that he was covering the Snake, Kenny Stabler.
Not that long. No.
As we talked about snakes and Stranger Than Fiction in our last segment. But it is our friend Vinny Bonsignor. Follow him at Vinny Bonsignor, covering the NFL for the California Post now, and of course on the radio on 9:20 a.m. in Vegas, talking about the Raiders. Vinny, thanks for doing this here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Absolutely, and happy birthday or anniversary. What are we talking about here?
We'll take it. Just don't ask our age.
No IDs needed.
Vinny, I want to ask you to start things off. Let's center in on the Raiders here before we get to KC and the Rams. I know you're in Kansas City, and we appreciate you coming on with us live this late here on Fox Sports Radio. But you had a tweet that caught a little bit of traction and some friction with some people the other night, saying, quote, "I totally get why the Raiders will start Kirk Cousins and be patient with Fernando Mendoza. But anyone who thinks this is some one-sided deal and that Kirk is worlds ahead of Mendoza just doesn't know football." Y'all don't know ball. Not like Vinny B here. So tell me, if Kirk Cousins is like, a 6 on the quarterback scale, how far is Fernando Mendoza from him? Is he a 5.5? Is he a 4? How close do you think he is? Where's the gap there?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going on that metric, I would say a 5. And here's the thing: if it really was that Kirk was that far ahead of Fernando Mendoza, the Raiders would have a major problem right now. Because that would, to me, it wouldn't be so much that Kirk Cousins looks fantastic, which he looks okay. He's looked okay. It would be that Fernando doesn't look very good, and that's not anywhere near the case. He has looked good, and I think people got a glimpse of that last night when they got a chance to see Fernando out there doing his thing. So this isn't some. I mean, everyone needs to understand too. Kirk Cousins. I mean, the last couple of years, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been a great quarterback the last couple of years, coming off the Achilles injury and, where he is in terms of the calendar. So yeah, it's not a wide, huge gulf between those two quarterbacks, nor should it be. And if it was, the Raiders would be in trouble right now.
So Fernando was critical of his own performance the other night, and Clint Kubiak praised him and thought he played pretty well. From your assessment, you wrote about this in the California Post. You thought he played well as well. As far as the starting quarterback going into the season, Clint Kubiak, and I don't know if he was just saying this for political purposes, but he says, yeah, we want all these guys to get reps with the ones, whether it's Aiden O'Connell, whether it's Fernando Mendoza, and obviously Kirk Cousins. How realistic of a possibility do you believe that it is that by the time opening week comes in week 1, that Fernando Mendoza would be the starting quarterback for the Raiders?
Yeah, if it was me, I think it would be there would be a pretty good shot of that happening. But I do believe that the Raiders are going to try to slow play it a little bit with Fernando. It's why they went out and got Kirk Cousins, and I totally get that and I understand it. It's probably the right thing to do, at least to start off the season. But to me, it's only a matter of time for Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback of the Raiders, the starting quarterback of the Raiders. Now, the only thing I think that would change that calculus is if the Raiders get off to a great start. There's a bunch of pixie dust that's been put on them, and they will go on this run that nobody has foreseen. And if that's the case and they're winning a bunch of football games with Kirk Cousins as their quarterback, they're going to ride that out as long as they possibly can. They owe that to themselves. They owe that to the fans. They owe that to guys like Max Crosby and Colton Miller, guys that have been around for a long time that deserve a chance to win. They're going to ride it out if that were to happen. I don't necessarily see that happening. The schedule is really tough. I don't know that they're quite there yet right now to make that kind of a run. So for me, Kirk will start the season, but it probably won't be too long before Fernando's out there being as the starting quarterback.
Do they have enough of an infrastructure there, enough pieces to kind of not just protect Fernando Mendoza when he gets out there, but also some real weapons so he's just not just put in that David Carr situation where a guy gets shell-shocked early in his career, or maybe Sam Darnold-esque?
Yeah, that's really a great question, and I think they do. And I give a lot of credit to John Spytek and the front office, Clint Kubiak. Heck, you could even throw Tom Brady in there. They did a lot of good work during the offseason. I'm not saying that this is a flawless team or anything like that. To me, they're still a year away from really turning the corner. I think 2027 is where it all is for the Raiders. But when you think about guys like Tyler Lindenbaum, who already made a difference last night, and I saw that in training camp, having a Colton Miller healthy now. And when you talk about guys like Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty, those guys are Brock Bowers, obviously, that goes without saying. He's arguably the best tight end in the NFL. Ashton Jeanty, to me, is somebody that has, NFL Offensive Player of the Year written all over him. He's that good. He just didn't have a whole lot of help last year, but I think the offensive line is going to be better this year. I think that Ashton's going to be great. I think Brock's going to be really good. So I think the coaching staff is miles and miles ahead of last year's coaching staff, and specifically talking about that offensive line, way ahead of where it was last year. And I think you got a little bit of a glimpse of that last night as well. So I do think, it's not the greatest team by any stretch of the imagination, but I do not believe that this would be a David Carr type of a situation if you put Fernando out there. And that's one thing that, if you were talking about going into last year or the year before, people would be going, oh great, the Raiders have Fernando Mendoza, but geez, everything else I'd be worried about for him and for them. And I don't get the sense that that's the case at all. I think that they're a little bit further ahead of the game in terms of the roster, and that's a good thing for Fernando.
Vinny Bonsignor joining us here on FnA on FSR. He is an NFL columnist for the California Post, is currently in Kansas City getting ready for the Rams and Chiefs coming up later tonight. So the Rams are a great team. We know that. Likely not going to see anybody of note as far as their roster goes coming up in tonight's game. But Stetson Bennett going to get some run. Obviously, Ty Simpson as well. You've been at Rams camp. How have those guys, and I guess more specifically, how has Ty Simpson looked, and what should we expect to see from him in his NFL debut coming up later tonight?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Ty Simpson tonight and during the preseason. This is a good opportunity for the future quarterback of the Rams to kind of get out there. It's interesting because I know with Sean McVay, he doesn't show any of his cards during the preseason. The play calling and the plays that the Rams are gonna use tonight. You might as well be a couple of kids out in recess, drawing up plays in the sand. That's kind of what you're going to see from the Rams tonight. But that said, these are the opportunities that Ty Simpson, because we have to understand that the longer Matthew Stafford plays, the better for the Rams. The more he is Matt Stafford, the more opportunity they have to go potentially play for Super Bowls. So they want to get as much as they possibly can out of Matthew Stafford. That could be a year, it could be 2 years. Who knows? You never know how long Matthew wants to play. So the longer it is before we see Ty Simpson as a starting quarterback, quite honestly, the better for the Rams. But that day is coming at some point. And they do believe that it's Ty Simpson who's going to be the heir apparent. And so these opportunities, like you're going to get tonight and the next couple of preseason games, are really important for the Rams, for Ty Simpson, just from a development standpoint and kind of a glimpse to see what exactly it was that prompted the Rams to invest the 13th pick overall on a Super Bowl or now, Super Bowl or bust type of a team to go get a quarterback. that might not pay off for another couple of years. So if I'm a Ram fan, I'm pretty excited about tonight just to see what Ty Simpson, where the development is right now, where he is at this stage, and get a little bit of a glimpse of what the future might look like for them.
And sticking with the Rams conversation, you wrote something recently about Aaron Donald, and all of us expect Aaron Donald to, at this point in time, come out of retirement, rejoin the Rams, even if he's not going to be 100% of what he was. We think he might be 70, 60%, which would be better than the majority of players at his position. But you did write about a cautionary tale when it comes to guys coming out of retirement, and it doesn't always work out the way that you expect. We obviously know that Aaron holds himself to the highest standard, and he's been working out and is not going to come back and be a shell of himself. But I guess the fear of the unknown, you never truly know exactly how it's going to work out until you get out there on the field. Is that something that the Rams themselves have discussed internally, that maybe the expectation for Aaron might be a little bit too high?
Yeah, and I know that from the Rams' perspective, it's never been a case where they're like, man, we got to have Aaron back. We have to have Aaron of 2020 back. We need him, and that's what we expect it to be. I don't think that there's any expectation that is what this is all going to be about, and they don't need him to be necessarily, because if it was, and if it is, hey, they would take that any day of the week. Aaron Donald would, and so would everybody else. But that's probably not likely. And when you look at the precedent of this type of a situation, which quite honestly is a little bit of an uncharted territory that they're going into. I don't know that there's ever been someone that was gone that long, of this caliber, of an Aaron Donald caliber, that came back and all of a sudden it was great, and they were back to being what they were before. There's really no evidence of that at all. So I think everybody has to manage their expectations as a result of that. He's 35 years old. He hasn't played football or competitive football in 2 seasons. He was actually showing, some signs of not necessarily decline, but he was in his 10th year. The last time we saw him, you're gonna see a little bit of the wear and tear and a little bit of that. It's professional football. Nobody beats Father Time. And now it's 2 years later, and he hasn't played it down since then. So I think everybody just needs to temper their expectations. And I know that from his perspective, knowing Aaron Donald, knowing what it takes to be Aaron Donald, knowing the standards that he sets for himself, and really doesn't accept anything less than that, there's still, to me, a little bit of a chance that he says, you know what, I gave it a shot. I just don't feel comfortable about where I am right now, and for that reason, I'm not going to come back. Now, I think I do believe he is going to come back, and I do think that they're going to figure out a way to maximize the level that he comes back at. And the good news is, with Myles Garrett and everyone else that they have on that defense, they don't need him to be the old Aaron Donald, which would be unrealistic. If that is who he is, fantastic. But if it's 70% of Aaron Donald, they'll make that work in a condensed, reduced role that kind of maximizes, uses him in higher leverage situations, known passing downs, late game situations, probably a little bit more down the stretch, when the games get a little bit more important and a little bit more meaningful. But yeah, I think it would be unrealistic for everyone to sit here and say Aaron Donald's coming back to the Rams. He won't skip a beat. It's going to be the Aaron Donald of old, and that's going to be a celebrated moment. There's really not a lot of history to suggest that would be the case.
Vinny Bonsignor is our guest here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio. Vinny Bonsignor from the California Post, joining us live late night as he is in Kansas City. Vinny, what were your feelings on the Micah Parsons trade a year ago, and how do you feel about it now with the Cowboys, with getting a little bit of a bigger picture and more clarity on what moves they made?
Yeah, that just kind of felt like a oh man. I first of all, I didn't agree with it. I don't think you trade a guy like a Micah Parsons, and I'd love to see him right now on the Cowboys. And I think most Cowboys fans would agree with that. It just seemed like it was almost like the bear got poked in Jerry Jones, and sometimes you don't do that depending on where his mood is at that particular time. And Micah Parsons had the audacity to maybe challenge him a little bit, and Jerry Jones said, "Okay, I'm going to send you to Green Bay, and thanks for the memory." So I didn't agree with it then. I don't agree with it now. He's just too good of a player to me, anyway, to trade. I don't think you ever replace a guy like a Micah Parsons, and I don't think that the Cowboys are better for not having him. Now, saying that, they were able. I give them credit. The assets that they got in that trade, they went and flipped to go really help themselves. But still, to me, Micah Parsons is 101. There's not that I would agree with that where you draw up a picture of, hey, we're going to trade Micah Parsons. I didn't feel good about it at the time, and I still don't feel good about that.
Vinny, we talked about quarterback competition potentially with the Raiders. How do you see the situation in Cleveland playing out? We know that money plays, and we know that Jimmy Haslam has paid so much money to Deshaun Watson. He's like, I got to get something out of this guy, right? At least at the very least, give him first crack at being able to win the starting position. Do you think it's possible at all that Shedeur Sanders could beat him out and be the starting quarterback for the Browns, or do you think it's a foregone conclusion that if he's healthy going into week one, Deshaun Watson will be their starter?
I almost think you have to. It's so much money. It's not just the money, too. It's the assets that you gave up to go get him. And at some point, if you're the Cleveland Browns, you at least have to play it out and say, look, you're healthy. I got to see what I got. I need to see something back for this, on the return on investment. That doesn't mean that I think that Watson's going to, turn back the clock to be Deshaun Watson of old, but I need to at least give that an opportunity to be the case. And I kind of, I know that Deshaun has had his issues, and those are well talked about. But
what do you mean?
I'm kind of hoping it would be nice. It would be a good story if somehow, some way, he was able to turn back that clock, or at the very least, he's healthy and can finally go out there and play in Deshaun Watson, because we forget he was a really good quarterback at one point in time with the Houston Texans, and seemed to be on his way. And everything sort of the train went way off track in terms of him. A lot of injuries. It just hasn't been good in Cleveland. But if I'm the Browns, I gotta try to at least get something out of Deshaun Watson. Now, if he goes out there and it's kind of still the same, forget the injuries. If he's just not that good, then I think Shedeur Sanders does deserve a chance to go be the starting quarterback. But if I'm the Cleveland Browns, considering how much I've already paid Deshaun Watson, how much I still owe him, and what I gave up to go get him, I need to see something for that return. It's just it's just too much in all aspects to just park him on the sideline if I think that there's any chance that he can go out there and be a good quarterback again.
Last one for you, Vinny, before we let you run. We'll go back to the state of California and the 49ers. You wrote a piece on Christian McCaffrey, and he has been practicing, and he's dealing with some tightness or soreness, but they're kind of nebulous as to what exactly he may or may not be dealing with. He was fully healthy last year for the first time in God knows how long. And the 49ers just in general have been snake bitten by injuries over the last couple of years. I don't know if the electrical substation has anything to do with it or not, but obviously the Rams and the Seahawks are kind of the class of the division. The 49ers, despite their injuries, had a great year last year, but a lot of people said that's because they had a pretty weak schedule. Just what are your outlook for the 49ers? We know they're a very top-heavy roster that have dealt with injuries. Do you think they have what it takes to hang with the 49ers, or excuse me, the Rams and the Seahawks going into this season?
Well, and it's interesting because with all the injuries that they did have last year, they still won, 12 games. They went to the playoffs. They won a playoff game, but that is with Christian McCaffrey out there. You go back to 2023 when he was the Offensive Player of the Year, running for a bunch of yards, catching a whole bunch of footballs, and gaining a bunch of yards there. They went to the Super Bowl that year. The very next year, he played, 5 games, 6 games, I think, maybe a little bit less than that. They're a 6-11 team when he wasn't out there because of this was 2024 tightness in his calf tightness that they downplayed during training camp, and that turned out to carry over into the regular season, and that turned into an Achilles injury. And then he comes back for 4 games actually, and then he has a knee injury, and they went from being a Super Bowl team to a 6-11 team with McCaffrey playing all 17 games or 16 games the year before, and then 4 games in 2024. the wheels completely came off of their train. Last year, despite all the other injuries, he was out there for 16, 17 games, and they were still a pretty good football team. So to me, he's one of those guys that the 49ers could not lose him. They can't afford to lose a whole bunch of guys again this year. That would just be catastrophic for them. But the one guy they truly can't lose is Christian McCaffrey. So hearing, sort of what they're dealing with right now with him is very reminiscent of what they were dealing with a couple of years ago, and it didn't work out a couple of years ago. So I know that they're being as careful as they possibly can with Christian McCaffrey, but it feels a little ominous to me that the exact thing that they were talking about a couple of years ago that kept him, on the sideline for every, was it 13 games? You're starting to hear the same type of thing. So if he's not out there, that's just bad news for the 49ers. If he is out there, then they're one of the best offenses in the NFL. But that's something to very much keep an eye on in San Francisco.
Can't lose the last white running back. We can't have that happen here.
Oh.
Wait, is he not?
No, Scadaboo's back. As long as they put his leg back together and he stops doing backflips, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I got some concerns about that guy. Vinny Bonsignor, no concerns with him. Follow him at Vinny Bonsignor. He covers the NFL for the California Post. He's out in KC. He'll be covering the Chief Rams Gator today. Vinny, we owe you big time. Thanks for doing this late night here. We are not worthy.
No.
You make us sound so much better. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks, Vinny.
Never a problem. And of course, anytime you give me the call, we're making it happen.
Appreciate you, Vinny. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good show, you guys.
All right. Speaking of Cam Scadaboo, of course, he resides in the NFC East with the New York Giants. Where do we have the Giants finishing in the NFC East? Spoiler alert.
You lose.
I don't have them winning it. I'll say that.
But they got Harbaugh. What are you talking about, Kevin? They're fine now.
That'll be part of their problem. But we'll talk about the NFC East, our preview of that division coming up next. FnA on FSR.
This is what I've been working my whole life for.
It's here.
We're going to line up, play real ball.
Guys you've never heard of.
Is he going to find a roster spot?
And guys you have heard of.
Hey, man, I'm here.
Mostly just standing on the sidelines. The NFL preseason is here.
Who's the guy that's like the sleeper this year?
Fox Sports Radio.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ice Cube's Big 3 Season 9 is coming down to the wire. The playoffs are here. The action starts with the legendary Big 3 Celebrity Game. Then the Chicago Triplets, led by Montrezl Harrell and Coach Dr. J, take on Coach Gary Payton and the Boston Ball Hogs, followed by two-time MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champion Miami 305 facing Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. 3 games of the most physical, competitive, and nonstop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company, live, Covino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon, and The Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. On the track, my car's look is everything. But today, I'm talking about more than just paint schemes. I'm talking about my favorite games at Chumba Casino. Check out exclusives like Stampede Fury and my own King Croc Fury. It's just as wild as my car look in Texas. With over 200 games and new ones weekly, play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or ever worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
One guy sees the whole board.
I keeps it real, son.
But here's where I got smoked with you, sir.
The other guy sees what he wants.
Kelvin, you're so full of it.
I know they won the game, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give it to you real.
They couldn't be further apart.
Well, let me say it this way.
Stop it.
And that's why this works. It's The Odd Couple.
Book it.
With Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
You know you make me wanna.
Keep screaming.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Here they come.
Oh, louder.
Louder, please.
What's that sound?
This is the show that has two pros and a cup of Joe.
Who is Joe?
LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox.
We talked about a social media team for an NFL team put their quarterback on blast. The Philadelphia Eagles put out a video of Jalen Hurts, who granted is in a new offensive system, has a new offensive play caller in Sean Mannion, drops back and throws a ball across the middle that gets picked off. And the social media tag says right on cue. Now, I understand in every play, you can highlight and show the highlight and compliment that or show the low light. And in this one, when you're against your own team, it's going to show both. But I don't see any other social media teams doing this.
Jalen Hurts is one of them conversations. You gotta. If I'm in Philly, I would rather err on the side of caution. So if you're overreading into it, you know, chances are anybody else who saw it and looked at it, they're overreading it too. But maybe it's just the idea that they were talking about the player who intercepted it. Whatever they were talking about, boom, he throws the interception right on cue. Like if it played out that way, then I can't say I have a horrible problem with it. Although I think you still have to be careful with it if I'm in the Philadelphia organization, if I'm reporting, because I mean, there's sensitivities to the way Jalen Hurts has been playing quarterback. I don't think that's a military secret.
To get the rest of LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox, podcast by searching Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Listen to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe weekdays from 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's Colin Cowherd, outspoken.
I know it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk about it.
It's the Herd.
This is
the Herd.
That's what this is.
Man of the people.
People don't want Socrates or Aristotle. They want a guy.
Oh, did I mention outspoken?
I'm sorry, guys, but unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated.
It's the Herd with Colin Cowherd. Listen every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wow.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. The great thing about us is,
hold up,
when you want us,
be loud.
You got us.
Be proud.
We're all over the place, and I mean all over.
All right.
Like streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app, on YouTube,
FSR on YouTube.
Every show has its own page. We got podcasts coming out of our.
It's every day. You've got to maintain.
When you want us,
what's going on? What are we doing?
You got us.
Thank you very much. I listen to you guys every day.
Thanks for being part of the family.
On Fox Sports Radio. FS1. From First Things First in the Herd to your sports teams, FS1 has what you need. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
Nobody does it better.
FnA, Cotton. FnA.
Welcome back in. It's FNA on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Moslin. He is Kevin Figures. And with the iHeart app, you can stream us wherever you are. Catch us in all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app, so it will always pop up at the top of your screen. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio in the iHeart app.
Thanks again to Vinny Bonsignor of the California Post for joining us last segment. Coming up later this hour, we'll do our NBA 3. We'll talk about the Lakers sale, Russell Westbrook's retirement and what his legacy is.
FnA.
And maybe some interesting comments that Joe Lacob made about Golden State Warrior fans and the way they feel about their offseason or lack thereof, to be honest with you.
Boy, they strike out.
Yeah. So we're going to get to our NFC East outlook here. First, I want to go back because last week I was not here. Adam held it down for me. I appreciate it again. My NFC South take, one of the worst divisions in the NFL.
You're not going to take it a step further and say in all of sports?
Ooh, I don't know.
Lord knows I do.
The American League West is pretty bad right now, Adam. So, I mean, I don't know.
All right, that's fair.
It was really difficult trying to find somebody to win this division because I don't like any of them.
Somebody has to.
I don't like a single one of them.
It's not like you can win with a losing record or anything. Oh, wait, that happened last year.
Yeah. I went with the Falcons to win last year. Obviously didn't happen. It looked bad to start the season. They actually got pretty decent towards the end and ran out of time. I'm actually going to pick them to win the division yet again this year.
Wow.
Not because I love them. I have questions about literally every team in this division. But I do think Stefanski will get the most out of whoever the starting quarterback is. They do have legitimate weapons.
You sure? You see two tonight?
I did see Kenny dropped a snap out of the shotgun.
Second play of the game.
It's preseason. He's still trying to work his way into it a little bit.
Sure.
Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan, obviously. The offensive line is healthy for the first time in a couple of years going into a season, so I like that. The James Pierce suspension, and rightfully so, by the way. Not the greatest human being, but a solid prospect, a good player. Coming back after an 8-week suspension, it probably adds some juice to a defense that I think is actually half decent going into this year. So I don't love any of these teams. I don't think any of them are that good.
They're not lovable.
But the best of the worst, I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. So that is my NFC South take.
I wavered last week, and I think I said both the Bucks and the Panthers at one point, maybe.
Yeah,
I will go with the Panthers.
You did.
You win.
Go with the hometown team.
All right.
The hometown that Adam's never been to.
That's my pick. Hey, I got big plans.
Do you?
When they get to the Super Bowl and they're hosting it at Bank of America Stadium or whatever it is. Okay, that's never going to happen.
I was host the Super Bowl? I don't know if that's
formerly known as Eckerson Stadium. Was it Ericsson? Because of the phone company.
Yes.
Before we get to the NFC East, do we want to take this phone call?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's get to it. Who do we have, Adam?
Chance
calling
Mark. From Alabama. Roll Chance. Chance, what's up?
Roll Tide. Thank you all for taking the call. So you were talking about preseason earlier, and I believe I heard you say, does it mean anything to fans?
Yes.
To me personally, it means absolutely nothing. Nada, zero, zilch.
It got you to call in and say that, though. Can't be nothing.
Right. I'm. You know what it means? It means coaches making bad decisions. I'm a Bills fan, right? And for some god awful reason, they're going to put Josh Allen in the game tomorrow. I hate it. He does not need any reps. He's good. He's going to be all right. You know what I can go to reference why he doesn't need any reps? 2020, right? The COVID year. They trade for Diggs. There was no they didn't get to work out, and I don't think they had OTAs that year.
And instant chemistry.
Yeah, truncated training camp, all that. Yep.
Instant chemistry. It's just for a guy like Josh or Lamar or even Joe Burrow out there getting sacked. It's just insanity to me. I mean, I hate it. It's dumb. It's stupid. I can't remember the team that lost a guard yesterday. It's just dumb. Don't do it. Only thing that can happen is bad things.
I mean, we kind of said that earlier. The most memorable stuff that has happened in the preseason in the history of the NFL would be injuries.
Yeah, the Cardinals lost one of their offensive linemen on Thursday night, so you're right on that.
Chance, you're always a good call.
Thank you, Chance.
Appreciate you.
Put a couple shekels on the Tide, by the way. I think they're underrated going into this season. Kellen DeBoer's got everybody right where they want them.
Mark, thanks for punching him up.
I think
now,
Bama's,
can we get back to that NFL music?
We can. I think Bama's picked to finish like 6th or something in the SEC, which is unheard of.
Me?
Yeah, I believe so.
Damn.
Unheard of. But now back to the NFL, as you mentioned, Adam.
Nick Saban's ghost rolling over.
No,
oh, wait, he's alive.
He's still very much alive. To NFC East. So obviously one of the more popular divisions in the National Football League. If there's a national TV game, one of these teams or both of them are probably in it.
You know how long I hated this division because I felt like they got undeserved nationally televised games in the 90s, specifically late 90s, early 2000s, just based upon what the Redskins did,
what the Cowboys did in the mid-90s for sure.
It was like the Eagles didn't do. Like I I'm sorry. The Giants did in the late 80s, early 90s. It's like, how long are we holding on to this? How long are we doing this? But I get a lot of it was just big cities, too.
As long as the TV ratings hold up. That's what drives everything.
Annoyed the hell out of me.
So bringing up the caboose of the NFC East for me is Washington Commanders. Now, I probably would have done this even before I found out that Laremy Tunsil tore his tricep and is going to miss a lot of the season.
Somebody get a body bag.
The fact that I know for a fact he has torn his tricep and is going to miss a majority of the season confirms it even more.
It's just the majority, not the entire season with a torn tricep?
They don't know yet. But
is it the deer antler spray from Ray Lewis that's going to fix it?
It possibly could be. So it's going to be a significant amount of time. The entire season is likely, but they just don't really know at this point in time. But regardless, you got a couple of new coordinators in there. You keep Terry McLaurin healthy will be great. I do like the pickup of Stephon Diggs late. That gives Jaden Daniels another weapon. But again, that offensive line, is he going to be able to stay upright and protected?
No.
And for a guy that weighs 4 pounds, like Jaden Daniels does, and the way that he runs, he's already been banged up. I don't want to project RG3 vibes. I don't want to project that on anybody. But Washington fans have already been scorned by a quarterback that runs a lot that's been plagued by injuries in his career.
A guy that had a great rookie season, and then everything goes downhill from there because of injuries.
Can they run the ball? Katron Allen actually looked solid on Friday night, and he's a guy I liked coming out of Penn State, so he might actually end up being their bell cow when it's all said and done. But I just can't trust. I don't trust the offensive line. I don't like the defense at all, to be honest with you. And remember, that magical run they had a couple of years ago when they went to the NFC Championship game
took out the number 1 seed Detroit Lions.
They won 5 games in walk-off fashion. 5. That doesn't happen. So they needed all that magic to put themselves in a position to take out the top seed that year. Last year, if you want to call it a mulligan because Daniels didn't play the majority of the season, I think they have more issues than that, then sure. I just don't see it for the Commanders this year. They just don't have enough. I think they come up in last place in the NFC East.
All right. I'll put them there as well. I think I know where we're going next. Giants, Harbaugh.
Giants with Harbaugh. And we've talked about him and how it ran its course in Baltimore, all the blown leads and everything else. I will say this. I'm not his biggest fan either. But remember how things ended with Andy Reid in Philadelphia. Yeah. I think his last year they went 4-12. He got fired. He goes to Kansas City, rejuvenates his career, and is now once again one of the great quarterbacks. I mean, this probably solidified his Hall of Fame resume. He probably was going to make it anyway, maybe borderline in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Now, no question whatsoever, he's going to be a Hall of Fame head coach.
It's a big bust.
Sometimes – and he'll tell you that. Sometimes a change of scenery can help. Change your perspective a little bit, different front office, different setup. So this actually could end up being good for Baltimore and good for John Harbaugh, just like it was good for Philadelphia and good for Andy.
The thing I would say with Andy Reid, though, I never felt like the game passed him by. If anything, he was ahead of his time with how much he was passing the football
didn't run
with
it
the
enough.
Eagles. And yes, should have had more balance to his offense. But then the game kind of caught up to him. Everybody started working with their passing attack. He made it work with Alex Smith. He saw the potential of Mahomes. I don't know if I think of John Harbaugh as still an innovator in this league. He's more of a CEO type. He's more of a professional. But is he a darkroom guy that's going to out-scheme you? I feel like he just holds a locker room together.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. It's a new outlook for him. He spent a long time in Baltimore. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was at one time considered one of the best coaches in the league. We'll see what he does in a new environment with a new team that he can mold in his own image, because this is, regardless of what the Giants try to tell you, a rebuild for sure.
Can I amend something you said earlier?
Yes.
I'm not saying you're wrong, Kevin. I'm not.
Am I wrong? I've been wrong plenty of times.
You
Ask my
said
wife.
It's not just Christian McCaffrey that's a white running back in this league, pointing out Cam Scatterbo.
Yes.
The crazy thing with the Giants is they actually have 2 running backs with their quarterback and Jackson Dart, who thinks he's a running back out there.
And
white running backs. They got 2 of them.
And he's also 120 pounds soaking wet. I'm exaggerating, but obviously
his girlfriend weighs more.
Obviously.
Not
I'll
that I
leave that one
follow.
alone. He's obviously got to take care of himself, and it's been a big emphasis, and he's been asked about it at training camp. Whether or not he's actually learned to slide, I don't really know. I guess that'll have to wait and find that out. They signed Patrick Ricard, who spent a lot of time in Baltimore, obviously, with John, which tells you that they want to be able to run the football and they want to be physical. That's great in theory. Is Cam Scatterbo going to be back to the guy that he once was? Because that is one of the more devastating injuries I have seen. He suffered a right ankle dislocation, a tibia fracture, and a ruptured deltoid ligament in his foot. That's a lot to have to come back from.
Not to mention the bruised ego after doing that backflip where you didn't stick the landing. That's going to be a lot to overcome as well.
You're going to do that and then stumble. That's a bad look. And people say, what the hell are you doing, man? This is our franchise here.
The way you tried to play it off, too.
Yeah,
it's a bad look. You're already white. You you suck.
That's ridiculous. I don't know if you have to attack the white guy.
I'm just saying, he did
You're
not.
already white.
He did
You're already
not
terrible. Why are
look
you?
cool there. He did not look cool.
The white guys can't flip.
Well, no, I could do some flips on the trampoline back in the day, but he made us look pretty stupid. That's all I'm saying. We don't have many of these white running backs left, and one of them is trying to do backflips and can't stick the landing.
He's embarrassing the entire white race is what you're saying.
Kind of.
Okay.
He's embarrassing. I don't know if I like the words white and race next to each other that close, but I see where you're going.
I mean, hey, I'm basically trying to interpret for the rest of the audience what you're trying to say. I'm trying to pick up what you're putting down.
Well, thanks for saving me.
Malik Neighbors, by the way, don't even know if he's going to be ready for week 1, so that's obviously a big mystery. You lose Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals. You don't really replace him on the defensive line. So Abdul Carter, sure. Arvell Reese, love it. Fine. He's a young guy. You don't really know what you're going to get from him. This is definitely a pseudo rebuild. They do have some talent. I think they're better than the Commanders, but not that much better.
Let's break.
Why don't we talk about the top 2 teams in the NFC East coming up next? We'll let it carry over like the carries by those white running backs, which one is a quarterback for the New York Giants. This is your NFL divisional preview show of record. It is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
We talk, and you love to listen.
Awesome. Love hearing you guys. Full of laughs, man. Love it.
Now,
You took a call, so they want to talk.
look at him.
Stacy's back, so she wanted to talk about.
Brady is the man.
Well, Stacy called. She wants to go back to the Parsons stuff because she's from Dallas, and then Dave wants to talk NFC North.
Preseason 9 is coming down to the wire. The playoffs are here.
Well, he can clarify.
3 celebrity games. Then the Chicago triplets, led by Montrezl Harrell and Coach Dr. J, take on Coach Gary Payton and the
You don't want to talk to E-Dog, I don't think.
MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champion Miami 305 facing Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. 3 games of the most physical, competitive, and nonstop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live.
Well, it seems to partly work for Ben, but I don't know what's wrong with that phone.
Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online.
Coop has to come in and restart the whole thing.
Person covered.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
There are some shows you don't want to miss.
This is going to be fun.
And there are some shows you can't miss.
Let's not overreact.
This is Covino and Rich.
Danny G said, let's pay tribute to some of those old-timey timers that you heard all the legends of.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Jim Thorpe. You hear things like that, and your ears perk up because you're like, yeah, all right, let's hear it. Well, how about shout out to our pal Mad Dog Russo, the league leader in shout outs for Bob Cousy. Yeah, no, for sure. Bob Cousy. Now, I have a funny story because I was collecting my baseball cards, right? Mm-hmm. In the prime of my baseball card collecting days, the 1987 Topps, the wood frame border. They matched my house. Everyone had that wood paneling in their house. Why not do it on Topps baseball cards? And I remember... Maybe on the side of your parents' station wagon. I remember there was a lot of wood loving in the 80s. I'm there with my grandpappy, and he's cracking peanuts and everything. He's cracking his nuts with the little nutcracker thing that they had. Old grandpappies had. You know what I'm talking about, Sam?
Yeah.
A nutcracker.
Yeah, but
The walnut cracker.
Yeah, the walnut ones. Why don't we do that anymore?
Good for your hand strength.
Yeah, so he's doing that, and he's watching me open baseball cards. Hand strength used to matter a lot more. Remember, your parents having those grippy things, dude. Yeah, and my grandpappy had mangled fingers because he was a butcher, right? So he had his butcher hands mangling those nuts.
Now, Rich, we have Nitos.
Yeah, and I'm opening up baseball cards, and I pull a Robbie Thompson 1987 San Francisco Giants card, right? And Robbie Thompson And I remember specifically my grandfather going,
"Hey, this is Cheech, and this is Chong, and you're listening to Covino and Rich, so listen up."
To get the rest of what Covino and Rich said, podcast it by searching Covino and Rich. And as always, you can hear Covino and Rich weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
He is V8 plus.
With Colin Cowherd.
Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, Hurts threw an interception in camp, which is like giving up a home run in spring training. It doesn't matter. New receivers, new personnel. And they post on the Eagles social media right on cue. Now that's Q is the nickname for Quinyon Mitchell, who's a great young corner. It got 15 million views, and they never took it down. If you were confused or bothered, you know who wasn't? Jalen Hurts, because he didn't ask him to take it down. By the way, Josh Allen threw an interception at camp on like Monday, and Buffalo posted it. It got 500,000 views, right? The Eagles never took it down. They never took it down. And if you're a star quarterback and go to the social media guys and say, hey, what are you doing? Nope.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
LSU has given out the number 5 to DJ Pickett. I'm just wondering, like, when you see this sort of stuff going on and you see guys at the pro level who are looking back and saying, no, I don't want that guy to wear my number. Does it bother you as a guy who's really embraced it?
See, for me, it always mattered. When you think about 11 and the whole development of Sticks and Stick City and all that stuff, I realized going into it what the number meant to me. For Jayden Daniels, if it started mattering because they gave it to somebody that he didn't feel like deserved it, I think that's ultimately a conversation that you have to have behind closed doors. Because I'll say this, doing it out in the public, you don't want to.
That was Dave in Idaho.
The school owns the number.
Two Pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe, Jonas Knox. 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. When you call yourself the premier sports lineup in the nation, you have to back it up.
Unapologetic.
Well, my friends, we do. Check these names: Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox, Stu Dotson Company, Covino and Rich, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, Ben Maller, Jason Smith, and Mike Harmon. Boom. The best. Is that premier enough? Listen to all those names right here. Really? On Fox Sports Radio. FSR. Live sports and live programming. FS1. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
Welcome to your doom.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Welcome back to the Fox Sports Radio studios. It is FnA on FSR. And for the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune in to Fox Sports Radio's Countdown, presented by BetMGM. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. We will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart
We
app.
noticed the calls were lining up a minute ago.
Lines are lighting up. I guess it's a good subject.
877-99 on Fox if you guys do want to get on as we continue to preview the NFC East here. But Dave, calling in from Idaho. Dave, what's up? You're on FnA on FSR.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you. First time, long time. I love you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's talk about the most slept on division in the NFC.
Okay.
NFC Central. I'm a diehard Packers fan.
Wait a second.
Right, you mean the NFC North now?
You're taking us back to 2001,
the
Central.
It has been the Central for almost 2 decades there. It's okay, brother. I got you.
Over.
I'm 51. It's cool. I'm 51. It's cool.
All good.
So I'm watching last night's game against the Steelers. Yeah, great breakaway plays from both teams. Great game. But then I'm looking at ESPN and the DraftKings stuff comes up. The DraftKings have the Packers losing only 6 games this year. What does that say about the NFC North? I want to give Ben Johnson his props in Chicago with Caleb. Let's go.
I think he wants to give himself some props too, but
yes, he does.
Best offense ever.
Lofty
really
goals,
is, dude. And that's why Detroit's falling right now. I love Dan. He's a great dude for what he did for Detroit. But everybody's sleeping on the Packers. Everybody's sleeping on the Bears. Nobody's sleeping on the Bears since Caleb came in.
Well, people are sleeping on the Packers because they just haven't really done a lot to move the needle this offseason. The last couple, outside of getting Micah Parsons last year, and obviously he's going to miss the start of the season. What have the Packers done to really improve their roster?
I get it. But I've been a Packers fan since I was 7. And we've won 2 Super Bowls since I was 7.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody still sleeps on them.
I'm awake. If Jordan Love has a big season, if he takes that next step.
We did our preview a couple of weeks ago for the NFC Central, if you want to call it that. And I said at the time, I was like, I literally can see a world where any one of those 4 teams can win the division. Any one of them.
Right.
It's a great division.
And that show was amazing. That show was so good. I was so excited when I was listening.
Thank you. Yeah.
What about tonight's show? No chopped liver.
I do think the Packers probably don't get a lot of love because they don't have a lot of sexy big names that jump off of the page at you.
Nobody has big names, but Devontae left, Rodgers left.
Right.
Josh Myers, the starting center, ain't there anymore.
Kraft is coming off the injury.
Exactly.
None of your receivers can ever stay healthy, talented as they all are. The guys can't stay on the field. So
just like San Francisco, it's the same issue.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Do you guys got a power issue nearby? A factory, a Chernobyl, nuclear plant, anything?
I live in Idaho. I have no clue. I've been to Lambeau
potato factory,
so I have no clue.
Well, potatoes can give off electricity, right? They can light a light bulb, so maybe that's the issue.
All right,
a lot of guys are sleeping on the Packers, but you gotta take into consent.
Well, look, somebody has to finish third place, 4th place in the division. And thanks for the call. We appreciate the love and thanks for the support.
I'll take it. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. But the Bears are the hot thing because of how they ended last season, and Caleb was so clutch.
So hot.
Second year under Ben Johnson. Defensively, one of my big issues with them is the fact that they forced so many turnovers last year. There's no way humanly possible they're going to be able to replicate that again. But if the offense can be more consistent, maybe they can make up for that. So I like Detroit more than a lot of other people do. I like Green Bay, and I think Minnesota, this is kind of the last stand for Kyler Murray, who was officially named the starting quarterback earlier this week in Minnesota. There is a to be made for every single team in that division to say that we can stand out, we can win, and we can make a run in the postseason.
Do we want to give out the team that we believe is going to finish second in the NFC East now and save the number 1 team, even though they'll know it by our response here for the next hour? Hell of a tease, Adam. Way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Dumbass.
You know what I think? Let's hold off on that.
There's a lot to discuss.
Yeah, we'll do it because I think, first of all, we might not even necessarily agree who's going to win the division versus who's going to finish in second place.
We them boys, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
we'll never see.
I see you.
You'll never know.
You really do like that.
Minute.
After all, here, Kevin.
Oh,
you're gonna throw me for a loop.
If I were to pick the Dallas Cowboys, which I'm not going to say whether I am or am not, it's not a confirmation that I sign off on the Micah Parsons trade.
It's my quarterback.
Multiple things can be true at the same time.
Okay, fair enough. We will take more of your phone calls here. 877-99 on Fox if you guys want to call in, even though
30
are less tonight.
Mark doing double duty. Shout out to Mark Ramsey. Do your thing.
Yeah, he looks like Michael Keaton in Multiplicity right now. Like he's doing everything over there. We'll try to screen your calls as well. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to you. We'll talk more NFL coming up next, and we'll also get to an NBA 3-10 in the next hour. He's Kevin Figures. I'm Adam Oslin.
5 seconds.
Hey, on Fox Sports Radio.
Vince McMahon.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Let's begin.
Sometimes we like company. Other times, company is downright annoying. Let's listen to Stu Gatz and Company live, and you tell us where this show lies.
If you forget that the Patriots drafted Tom Brady, then you're just forgetting everything about the Patriots during the Tom Brady era.
Right. So as the result of erasing that one moment.
Somebody isn't becoming a new champion.
But it would
you're just forgetting.
But by extension, if Brady never makes it to the NFL and you
you're
erase
just forgetting the years that Tom Brady won in New England.
Doesn't seem like a big enough payoff. I mean,
yeah. All right. So Taylor, give me an example.
But it stands to reason if Brady's not drafted, then 6 other teams or maybe one other team, who knows? They're winning those.
Brady still gets drafted.
Right.
Everybody just forgets about Tom Brady's existence. That's the difference.
Okay.
Like mine, for instance.
Okay. Yes.
2004, I want to forget Red Sox-Yankees Game 7 where the Red Sox complete the 3-0.
You just want to forget it.
Comeback.
It still happened. You just want to forget it.
It still happens. You're just
so you're erasing it from your memory.
Correct.
You're not erasing the moment from sports history, which is the line I'm reading right now.
Yes, totally different game and very confusing.
Yep, you're erasing it from sports history.
Okay. Well, I don't want to erase the day my dad took me to my first football game, Shea Stadium. I mean, I don't want to erase that day. It was a great day. I enjoyed that day.
Cubs fans wish they could erase the Steve Bartman memory.
Oh man,
sure.
I would remind them so much.
You forgot.
Yeah, but I could. My brain would work so hard to remember that that I would overcome this hurdle.
You would try to jar it back into their memories.
I'd be like, Moises, don't you remember what happened, man? Come on.
To hear more from Stu Gatz and Company live, just podcast it by searching Stu Gatz and Company. And as always, you can listen live weekdays 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Covino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Covino and Rich.
First of all, do you look at it as like, look at the huevos on this kid that wants Jaden Daniels' number? Or do you look at it as, Jaden Daniels, you played 26 games. Yes, you won a Heisman 2 years ago, 2024, big star.
Well, we can't downplay the Heisman. I mean, that's
I'm sorry,
dope.
2023.
Yeah.
But do you look at that and say, 26 games, Heisman, you get your jersey put aside, retired, no one else gets it?
Well, let's not downplay, there is no higher honor. He won the Heisman Trophy.
National championship.
I mean, yeah, but still, that's a personal accolade. A championship would have been better, of course. So, yeah, that's points against them. Is it petty? I agree. It is very petty to complain about this and put a cease and desist on his name, image, and likeness moving forward.
Covino and Rich, weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Why, hello there.
2 pros and a cup of Joe, putting the more in mornings.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. Jonas Knox.
How you doing? I'm Jonas from Champion Roofers. I'm here to check out your leak.
Brady Quinn, LeVar Arrington.
Now that's a teammate right there.
Can you think of a better combination?
I can think whatever I want.
That's what I thought. It's 2 pros and a cup of Joe. Weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. here's what you need to know.
The Dodgers took the late ball game Friday, beating Milwaukee 3-1 as the Brewers left bases loaded in the ninth against Edwin Diaz. Kansas City was a winner at the Angels 7-6. Jack Caglione, homer, and 5 RBIs. Colorado won at San Francisco 5-2. The Giants will host the All-Star game in 2028. Next year, the Cubs will. The Cubs won Friday at Wrigley Field 3-0 over St. Louis. Cincinnati shut out Miami 1-0. The win to the Reds. Chase Burns, he's 14-2. The White Sox won at Detroit 9-5. Padres won their 6th in a row. Victories for Toronto and for Baltimore. The Orioles won at Tampa Bay 6-5, ending a Rays 9-game winning streak. Houston with 5 in the 10th beat Seattle 10-7. A's down Texas 8-3. In an NFL preseason matchup, Denver dominated at Atlanta 27-7. It was 24-0 at the half. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moot.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
Final hour of FnA on FSR. At KFig1 is where you can find me, at KFig1, KFIGG, the number 1. On X, you can find Adam at Follow Adam A on X.
Ashley.
We are at FnA Show on X as well.
Coming up, we got NBA 3 NBA stories for you. Really, we got about 4 NBA stories we'll be getting into. One of them is a hybrid, NFL versus NBA a little bit here. But us versus the phone lines. During the break, screened a few more calls. No producer tonight, no problem. Let's go to Jimmy in Long Island. Jimmy, you're on FnA on Fox Sports Radio. Jimmy.
Hey, fellas. First time, long time. Thanks for taking my call. I'm actually in Portland, Maine, and I'm at a wedding, and my first time encounter with a Bears fan. And I just want to say, how delusional are these Bears fans? I mean, they've been
E-Dog.
How many years, and they're riding the coattails of Caleb Williams just like that. And then this guy says he lists off 3 players, and the first 3 players he lists off are tight ends. He says, "Oh yeah, we lost DJ Moore, but we got a Dunze." I think they're the 4th worst team in the NFC North. The Bears fans are completely delusional. Just want to hear your thoughts. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Well, appreciate the call. Completely delusional, I think, is a bit of a stretch, but I do think that they're slightly overrated going into this season. I'll say that.
I would say what Han Solo once said to Luke Skywalker, which is,
"Great kid, don't get cocky."
They're a little bit over their skis only because the division is so tight. It's going to be so difficult, and you expect a little bit of regression given the amount of turnovers, as you pointed out earlier, that aren't repeatable by the defense that they had go in their favor last year.
And it's not like they went out of their way to really improve the defense that much. I mean, one of their big offseason signings was Kobe Bryant, and he's out. He's injured. He's going to miss the majority of the season in the defensive backfield. So offensively, you assume, and you never know, Caleb is going to take that next step forward. Remember, he completed less than 60% of his passes last year. His magic came at the end of games, almost like Bo Nix. And Bo was better than Caleb from an efficiency standpoint, but a lot of his shine came in the final 2 minutes of games where he would lead a lot of comeback wins and a lot of game-winning drives.
I do have a lot of faith in Ben Johnson.
I do too. I like Ben Johnson, and I think look what he was able to do with Jared Goff. I think Goff didn't have success with Sean McVay early on as well, but people kind of cast him off and thought he was done, and Ben Johnson revitalized his career. And Caleb Williams obviously, was able to be molded in Ben Johnson's image to a certain degree. Cut down on some of the turnovers, cut down on some of the wacky play, and be a little bit more consistent. I think that's what people are hoping and expecting. So like I mentioned last segment, the defense is probably going to take a step back especially when it comes to forcing the turnovers. The hope is that the offense takes a little bit of a step forward. Yes, you end up losing DJ Moore, but you expect Dunze to take a step forward. You have the 2 tight ends that you expect to take a step forward too. So that's the expectation level around the Bears, that the offense is going to get a little bit better, even if the defense gets a little bit worse.
The thing is, I could see the offense being better overall, but worse at the end of games, which is also something that's probably not sustainable with just how clutch they were late. That's just
clutch.
There was a lot of magic in last season's Bears that's probably not something you can count on again. But
that doesn't
they
mean
are talented.
So that doesn't mean they fall off of a cliff.
Right.
I guess is my thing. They're
It's
not
going to come down to a couple of games for the winner of this division. It's going to be determined by 1 or 2 games. That's it.
Yeah, this division is a lot tighter than I think a lot of people, will want to admit. I think people from all bunch of different fan bases are going to pop up there. The Green Bay Packers are being disrespected. We're great. The Bears are being disrespected. We're great. We can get a Viking fan to call and say the exact same thing. We can get a Detroit Lion fan to call and say the exact same thing.
And since there was X-Men news a little bit earlier today.
Was this about Mr. Sinister?
No.
Was that Adam Driver who got picked to be Mr. Sinister?
I do like that. Maybe we could get into some of the Marvel news at the end of the show here. Right. But, maybe there could be a curse of the Iceman for Caleb Williams.
Oh, the whole George Gervin controversy, right?
I'm just saying that's not the greatest look. And what if he's not taking care of business at the end of games the way he was last season? I'm going to call it the curse of the Iceman.
Okay. All right. You already have it banked up before the season even starts. You have the potential curse in holding off in the queue.
I'm ice cold myself.
I like it.
All right. Who else do we got here? Oh, E-Dog. He's the one calling from Long Island. E-Dog, what's up? You're on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, how's it going today, sir?
We're all doing all right. Better than Caleb Williams going to be doing at the end of games. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, I can't stand the New England Patriots, but I think they're going to vie in contention with the Buffalo Bills, but I have them win the division by like a game or two. Sanders, the quarterback for the Browns.
Yeah.
I think he's going to rise to the occasion and get the starting job. Go San Diego. Fernando Tatis, one of my favorite players, is hitting the ball hard now. I like the Padres to win the division and overtake the people.
E-Dog, what happened here? You're all over the place. You started with NFL divisions. Now you're going to the National League West?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Well, the very bold prediction, I will say, for the Padres to make up an 8-game deficit to the Dodgers, which is where they currently sit.
Oh, it's just 8?
With like 38 games left in the season or something like that. Hey, crazier things have happened, though, I guess.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz got a save tonight.
Yeah. The Patriots competing with the Bills for the division championship. I think the Patriots are kind of the popular pick by most people, the biggest regression candidate, just based on how easy their schedule was, how it wasn't, very easy for them in the postseason, despite the fact.
Can I say one more thing, sir?
I didn't realize you were still there.
Are you going to hockey next?
E-Dog, what do we got?
I dumped Melissa. She still calls me, and
Did we just dump him?
I think so.
What? I dumped Melissa. She still calls me.
Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Hey, you tell Melissa. And she's still thirsty for you. Way to have the moral high ground. That was a great call.
Best of luck with you and Melissa in the future.
Joan Hart? Where were you going with it, Kevin?
I don't even remember. The Melissa thing really derailed me, to be honest with you.
E-Dog will do
Patriots, that. I think the Patriots are still going to be good this year. A.J. Brown certainly helps, but I still think the Bills, even with the new head coach, most of the infrastructure is still there. I think the Bills division and then kind of everybody else.
Okay. We've teased it long enough. Who are our top 2 teams in the NFC East as we work our way through? And this is the last division we have to get to in the NFC in our divisional preview.
It is. My second place team in the NFC East. I'm going with Anthony Gargano's Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow!
Still have it deep and uber talented defense. Excellent defense. My issue, I don't know what to expect from them offensively. Now, it's
they
probably
lost a pretty good receiver.
Might be addition by subtraction with A.J. Brown, to be honest with you.
Really?
The locker room stuff, all the politicking.
Okay.
Sometimes getting just a breath of fresh air. People in the locker room are not looking over their shoulders and asking questions about guys reading books on the sideline and all that other crap. So that can help.
Was he always on the first page like LeBron? Or how'd that work out for him?
LeBron James.
Hey, LeBron, that book's upside down, player. Devontae Smith, can he be a legit number 1 receiver? We don't know. Mekhi Lemon, who they took out of USC, can't get on the field. He's been injured, didn't do OTAs, hasn't been in training camp. Maybe he'll have
he might be a lemon?
He might be. He might be Odell Beckham and just come out of nowhere in week 5 of the season, making one-handed catches and just catch the league by storm without any training camp.
He's talented as hell. We know that.
He might. Coming out of USC, we'll see. Dontavian Wicks, don't really do much for me from a receiver position standpoint. It is not an offense that Jalen Hurts is familiar with playing in. Sean Mannion is a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan guy. Jalen Hurts is not a rhythm and timing kind of passer. We can maybe, hopefully, at some point get Greg Cosell on the show, and he can talk about this a little bit more. Obviously, this is his area of expertise in watching the film.
Maybe you're underestimating the rhythm of the tush push.
Maybe I am. I don't know if Jalen Hurts can do it. I just haven't seen him do it.
That's fair.
So until I see him do it, I'm not going to sit here and predict a lot of great things for Jalen Hurts in this type of offense. Also, Saquon Barkley, and by the way, for everybody saying, like, Saquon Barkley fell off. He was horrible. He ran for 1,100 yards last year. Now, granted, it wasn't over 2,000 like he did the year before when they won the Super Bowl. He was still productive. He just wasn't dominant. I do believe, especially, and again, we're talking about the Shanahan-McVay system, it is built on a dominant run game. If they're going to be successful, Saquon Barkley has to get off again. Will he be able to do that? New offensive line coach. Their offensive line coach has been there for 1,000 years. He just retired. So you have a new offensive coordinator. You have a new offensive line coach, new offensive line just in general. I don't know. I got a lot of questions about this Eagles offense, to be honest with you. The defense is fine. I got questions about the offense. There are different questions than I had last year about the offense. There's just a lot of newness, and I don't know exactly how to predict what's going to happen with all the newness.
It feels like the foundation of their identity has been chipped away a little bit.
No doubt.
From the Super Bowl team that they were, whether they were losing it or winning it, they were competing at the highest level in the NFL. And a lot of that was run game, physicality, just being able to move your line backwards. And I don't know if they can do that the way they used to. And with that was really their superpower.
I mean, the Super Bowl that they won, the one that they lost to Kansas City, Hurts lit up the Kansas City defense. Hurts was great. The one that they won, he really didn't do a whole lot.
And Mahomes probably did more to help them. I can see where you're going with this. I don't know if I'm going to go there.
I feel that you disagree, which is fine.
No, I don't know if I want to disagree. I feel like I need to disagree. I'm the one who's supposed to like the Cowboys more.
That is true.
How are you picking the Cowboys to win the division in the NFC East and not me?
It goes back to something I said earlier in our discussion about the Michael Parsons trade and whether it was a good trade or not, or who won it or not, whatever. The offense speaks for itself. We know how great the offense can be. You got Dak, you got CD, you got Pickens. Pickens with a chip on his shoulder, by the way, who's looking for a new contract. So you have that after the dominant season he already had last year.
They can't franchise tag him twice?
They can. I don't know if they will because that tag number keeps going up and up and up.
Tag, you're it again.
Exactly. So if they have a top 5 offense, and I expect that they will, the defense just improves a little bit. You mentioned last year they made strides against the run specifically after they traded for Quinnen Williams. You know, that's a formula for them to win at least 11 games. You have a top 5, maybe even a top 3 offense. Give me a top 15 defense. Just don't be ranked 28th in one category and 32nd in another category. You have enough on offense to be able to do it. You should be better against the run. I like Caleb Downs. He could be a good slot and gadget guy for you in the defensive backfield. Christian Parker, new defensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator by far has been the biggest issue for this Dallas, more so than talent and anything else. We talked about the fact that when Micah Parsons first got there and Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator, they were pretty close to lights out defensively. Dan Quinn takes the Commander's job. They bring in a couple of different defensive coordinators the last 2 years, and they've been god-awful. Christian Parker, first-year defensive coordinator. I don't know. He's a Vic Fangio guy. We'll see how that holds up.
This is the case where the devil you don't know is actually better than the one you do, considering the last 2 guys that were defensive coordinators.
Kind of. I mean, you know, Zimmer had been around for a long time, and it's historically had great defenses. I don't know what happened 2 years ago. And Matt Eberflus obviously staked his reputation, got a head coaching job based on his defenses. Obviously didn't work out.
I'll take my chances with the unknown.
So will I. And knowing a system, Vic Fangio is one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. We know the system works. Now, do they have all of the ingredients for the system to work? That's the question. Up front defensively, they're better. I don't know if they're dominant, but they're better. On the back end defensively is my issue. I don't know if they have enough to hold up on the back end.
I didn't want to agree with you, Kevin, but I think I have to agree with you. The logic is there. The Cowboys offense is the most reliable thing in this entire division.
Right.
There's question marks all over the place, including on their defense. But I got question marks on everybody else's offense.
Yep.
And Mostly everybody else's defense too,
except for Philadelphia. I have very few questions about Philadelphia's defense.
The Giants' defense could be decent.
Could be, but again, they lose Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
So, and they were bad against the run with Dexter Lawrence last year. So
I will take in this league the offense that's more reliable over a defense that's reliable with the Philadelphia Eagles, because there's only so much you can do, especially in today's NFL with it being such a passing league, and what an advantage you can have if you're really able to put up points like the Cowboys can with all 11 starters returning.
Now, one thing the Cowboys have working against them, and we have to see if this stays chalk. It did last year for the Patriots, who had the easiest schedule going into the season, and it played itself out that they ended up having the easiest schedule of the season. The Cowboys have the 4th most difficult schedule in the league this year.
That's not great.
So they have that working against them. They're going to be battle tested throughout the entire season. So that
Are they
is
going to survive that battle?
That's the problem.
Speaking of one battle after another,
I'm picking them to survive that battle, but it would not. And look, it obviously would not surprise me if the Eagles win the division. Obviously, they've been great. They have a great front office infrastructure. I got questions about the offense. And look, if Jalen Hurts comes out and does own the offense, then look out. Give me 3, 4, 5 weeks of Jalen Hurts running this Sean McVay type offense under Sean Mannion and lighting things up. I will gladly say that I was wrong.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those, I have to see him do it before I can predict that he can do it.
maybe with the Cowboys, it's survive the battles, lose the war, as in losing the playoffs, but get to the playoffs.
Well, I feel like they've been doing that for 30 years. So I mean, that's been their MO, Adam.
It's appropriate.
So that's how it shakes out.
All
so
right.
I have the Dallas Cowboys winning the NFC East. I feel like you're kind of on the fence, or you don't really know. Or...
I think I do as well. Okay. You talked me into it. I wanted to pick them, but I didn't think you were going to pick them too.
Oh yeah, I still hate the Micah Parsons trade and would have rather have kept him. With that being said,
you're coming around, Kevin.
I'm looking. No,
I see it.
I'm not coming around.
I see it.
I'm looking at their defense with a new coordinator, with new talent. Just needs to be better. Just be a little bit better.
Their entire starting 11 returns, and
On
George
offense.
Pickens is still, what is he, 25?
Yep.
He's so good. And, I mean, they were missing CeeDee Lamb a lot last season.
Absolutely.
They can be better. Dak
Scary
Prescott
thought.
actually impressed me last season with the way he played.
For me, I mean, to me, Dak played the same way he's played the last 5 years. Now, granted, he got hurt a couple of years ago, which also didn't help their case when they were so bad a couple of years back. Dak has been a consistent 3,600-yard, 30-touchdown guy. Now, the playoffs are a different story. He's put up numbers when he's been healthy.
Yeah.
He just hasn't done it, to your point about the Cowboys in the biggest spot. He hasn't done it in the postseason.
All right. Well, there's your NFC East preview. What are we getting to coming up here, Kevin?
We got some NBA 3.
All right.
We got some NBA 3. The Lakers were sold under some interesting circumstances earlier this week.
Interesting times.
The retirement of, you call Russell Westbrook a legend? Some do, some don't.
Legendary triple doubles.
Yeah. And then the owner.
Legendary stat padding. What? No, I wouldn't say that.
You just did. The owner of the Golden State Warriors had some interesting comments about his fans that really stood out to me earlier this week.
Huh.
I found that to be interesting.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that coming up. It is FnA on FSR. Kevin Figures, Adam Alston, NBA 3 coming up next.
College fans, are you ready?
Looks, he airs it out, has a man wide open. Touchdown! Cam Coleman!
Just a friendly reminder that college football is coming soon.
I love college football.
And you know it's covered here
College football.
on Fox Sports Radio.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba
Ice
Casino.
Cube's Big 3 Season 9 is coming down to the wire. The playoffs are here. The action starts with the legendary Big 3 Celebrity Game. Then the Chicago Triplets, led by Montrezl Harrell and Coach Dr. J, take on Coach Gary Payton and the Boston Ball Hogs, followed by two-time MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champion Miami 305 facing Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. 3 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio. And you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
It's so good.
Covino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube. Wow. By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
He's Steve Covino.
Kick it.
He's Rich Davis.
I thought of like the worst idea possible.
It's Covino and Rich.
We are in a serious situation here.
They're dropping knowledge.
Everything about it is stupid.
And names.
We did an interview with Jay-Z, and Covino's like, yo, quick pick. And Jay's like, no. He's like, no.
What up, Covino and Rich?
It's Covino and Rich.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Please welcome.
And now, here's a little something that you missed from the Ben Maller Show.
It's the gas bag on the radio.
3, 2, 1.
Jaden Daniels making all kinds of headlines here. The Washington quarterback, and he has now broken his silence over his public hissy fit. And this after Daniels fired off a cease and desist letter demanding you stop using my name and my image and my likeness, my NIL. You cannot use my NIL. So I don't know if you heard what he said or not. It's an interesting story. Daniels saying that he did not personally send the letter. He explained that the matter was handled by his representation, he said. That was my representation. That wasn't me. It's a quote. That wasn't my representation. Or that was my representation. That wasn't me. Close quote. Now, the controversy stems from LSU continuing to use Jaden Daniels' image and honoring his legacy and celebrating his legacy, and then also reissuing his number 5 jersey. So there's a player on LSU this year wearing the number 5 jersey. Now, Daniels attempted to distance himself from the legal wrangling that's going on, the maneuvering, saying he still has love for LSU and indicated there was no personal animosity. What jumps out about the wording from Jaden Daniels, the Washington Commanders quarterback, regarding the beef?
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gotts.
Yes.
And he Gotts Company.
I love that.
Stu Gotts and Company. Live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes I like to talk. It's Stu Gotts and Company. Live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox Sports Radio. You're listening to Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio. And we get the people talking.
The audience wants this.
Whether it's the NFL,
Big NFL story.
the MLB, the World Cup,
All right, World Cup.
the NBA,
The NBA.
or just that random story that pops up on your timeline. We do the talking,
You guys talk so much.
and that gets you talking.
First things first, I'm gonna listen to you guys.
Keep telling it like it is, fellas.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Let me talk.
FS1. Follow your favorite teams and more. FS1, where live sports happen. To find FS1 on your television, download the Fox One app for details.
If it amazes you, then you don't know anything about basketball.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
It is FnA on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Moslin. He is K-Fig, Kevin Figures. If you missed any of today's show, you'll want to catch the podcast. Just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get that podcast. Right after the show, today's podcast will be posted. Be sure to follow the podcast, rate it 5 stars, and you can even provide a review. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the feed, and you'll find today's full show posted right after we get off the air.
And we've talked a lot of NFL on today's show. I mean, rightfully so. It's that time of year. Training camps are underway. Preseason games are underway. A bunch of meaningless football games.
Well, we did get some calls about that.
We did, which is great. You know what? We can call it meaningless. We started the show talking about preseason and how important or unimportant it may be for certain people. I enjoy it personally. If I got nothing else to do on a random Friday or Saturday night, I'll throw on the Commanders and the Broncos. Why not?
I don't think you were wrong when you said it beats regular season baseball.
Yeah.
Preseason football over regular season baseball.
Well, first of all, I didn't actually say it that way.
I misinterpreted.
I said it's comparable to regular season baseball in that if you watch preseason football, more likely than not, you are watching your team. And in regular season baseball, it's rare that the masses are going to tune in for a national game on a Tuesday night between the Reds and, the Cardinals or something.
Let me put it this way then.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Would you rather watch that Raiders preseason game or a Dodgers or Angels game?
I would probably rather watch, honestly, I'd rather watch the Dodgers, the Angels. What's the point?
Okay. Raiders preseason versus regular season Dodgers in August. Who you going with?
Who are the Dodgers playing? And how important is it?
Let's say Milwaukee tonight.
Are the Dodgers playing the Milwaukee Brewers on the same night that the Raiders are playing the Arizona Cardinals in a preseason game?
That happened.
It did happen.
And what happened? What'd you do?
I split screened it.
You cut the baby in half?
I split screened it. Even though the Dodgers and Brewers are fighting for the best record in baseball, and it's a pretty big series in Los Angeles this weekend, still definitely had an eye on the Raider game. The meaningless but again, rookie quarterback Fernando. I got to watch Fernando. Come on.
I want an answer. I'm going to scream at you like Christian Bale did on the set of Terminator Salvation. Give me an answer.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Gun to my head. If I had to watch one, I'm watching the Raider game.
Yeah. You hear that, Rob Manfred? You're cooked. And so's baseball with the lockout coming up next year.
Oh, yeah, that's going to hurt.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of lockouts, there might be one pending in this league coming up here soon, too, in the next couple of years.
Huh? What? Can't?
Yeah.
No. Why?
Yeah.
Ben Steph Curry with the shot.
Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
From the outside, Smith fires for 3. Oh, come on. It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, and the Blazers win the series.
Time for our NBA 3 segment here on FnA on FSR.
Do you like how J.R. Smith snuck into those highlights?
I'm sure JR likes that.
He's got his shirt off right now celebrating.
Thought we was winning.
With Hennessy.
Yeah, 3 big stories from there's probably a couple more than that, but one of the biggest ones, a shocker earlier this week when we find out that the Lakers, after, I guess it's officially been, 10 months that Mark Walter has owned the franchise?
Barely.
After 10 months of officially owning the franchise, he is going to sell them to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger at a $12.5 billion franchise valuation. There's a $2.5 billion profit that Mark Walter will be netting from this sale.
Kevin, you smell that? Something stinks.
No, is it?
It's not me.
Could it be because Walter is currently under investigation by the SEC and the federal government?
Oh, yeah.
For improperly channeling billions of dollars, allegedly.
And apparently,
from his insurance firms to other business firms.
They nabbed his laptop and cell phone before he became the owner of the Lakers. Nobody knew about it. Or at least
he
we
knew.
didn't.
He certainly knew about it.
But he didn't even care. He still bought him. How dare he?
So there's like why is he selling the team? Is it because he needs these funds to pay off these loans? Or is it because it's like, oh, I just happened to get a random call from a couple of guys. It said like, oh, and they knocked my socks off with an offer.
In 72 hours.
That's what we are.
It takes 30 days to close a house.
Yeah.
And you can sell the Lakers in 72 hours. Here's the question. So the news came out about him getting raided by the feds a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, something like that.
So did Bob Iger and Kushner, they're calling the good Kush?
I hadn't heard that, but that's pretty.
You hadn't heard?
That's pretty good. The good Kush.
You want to get high? Did they go, well, we might have a shot if we just ask? It can't hurt to ask.
Now, here's what how I understand it. And Kobe Price, who covers the Lakers for the California Post, got an exclusive interview with Bob Iger.
Obi Trice, Eminem's
No, that
guy?
was not Obi Trice. It was Kobe Price, who you probably know a little bit. Kobe's a nice guy. And got an exclusive with Bob Iger. And from what I understand, from Kobe's writing, Bob and Kushner were on the phone with somebody. I don't know who this somebody is, talking about the Las Vegas franchise because they were in the running along with Jerry Colangelo's group and the Walton family, who, of course, bought into the Denver Broncos, the Walmart estate. Those are kind of like the big bidders when it came to the Las Vegas franchise. So in the process of having this conversation about the Las Vegas franchise, whoever they were speaking with said, you know what? You guys might want to lob a call over to Mark Walter. He might be interested in selling the Lakers.
See, that's good information because the entire time it sounds even fishier for even them to take a shot in the dark. It's like, who tipped them off?
You wouldn't just randomly say, let me call Mark and see if he wants to sell.
Like, why would you think a guy that hasn't even had them for a year, and we're not talking about any sports franchise, we're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, why would you think that guy's willing to sell?
The only way that you could, if you independent of this phone call with this mystery person, and there's been a lot of rumors as to who this mystery person may or may not have been,
is if they thought that he was in trouble with the feds.
Yes, that they thought.
Which we all knew.
Yeah,
3 weeks ago.
Well, and who knows how long. I mean, these billionaires running these giant circles, they all know each other. Walter was just at the White House with the Dodgers. Was that a month ago? Maybe, if even that.
Kind of think he gave Donald Trump, the president, a ring, a championship ring.
So you don't think Walter talks to the president, talks to people in the government, the SEC? All these billionaire people know each other and know what's going on, and there may or may not be funky business going on with a lot of these guys.
You were born rich and you're going to stay.
So I don't think this is the case, but it would not be implausible for Kushner and for Iger to say, Mark's got maybe in some financial issues, and he might have to start selling off assets.
He's back into a corner. We might be able to take him off his hands for $12 billion. What a steal.
What is the biggest asset that he currently has? It's not the Dodgers. The Dodgers, as of last check, their valuation is about $8 billion, which is odd.
Is that
to me.
only behind the Yankees?
In Major League Baseball, yes. The odd part about that is the Dodgers own Dodger Stadium. They own a piece of their own TV network and Sportsnet LA. The Lakers don't even own Crypto.com Arena.
Nope. They pay rent to the LA Kings.
Right. And yet still, $12.5 billion valuation they're sold for.
It is, honestly, this may shock you, but I think it's true if you really think about it. The Lakers selling in less than a year after Mark Walter buys them and is injecting them with the Dodgers philosophy and Dodgers people, and they're doing a complete teardown, and they're going to modernize them and everything that has been talked about. Him selling, to me, is more nuts than Luka Doncic being traded to them.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
I think it's more of a long shot, or it was more unpredictable than Luka Doncic being traded, because it's just,
well,
it happened in 72 hours. like a flashbang like that, there's no way I would think that would happen.
No
with Luka,
precedence.
it's like it takes one guy to really like Anthony Davis, an idiot named Nico Harrison, and make that move. With Mark Walter, there's so much red tape and there's so many people to talk to sell a team.
Stars get moved. Things happen overnight, not to that degree, but they do happen. For something like this to happen in such short order, yeah, this is totally unprecedented. For one of the marquee franchises on the planet, if we're talking about sports franchises, not just the North American sports.
And the point is, while people say, well, he made $2.5 billion in less than 12 months. Great. The point of being a billionaire is so you can own one of these prestigious all-time franchises, which he did, and he still does with the Dodgers, but you don't buy the Lakers to then flip them in a year or less than a year.
Yeah, this isn't a house, or a duplex or something. That's not how this works.
They did not protect their house.
Sports franchises don't get flipped like this. So
definitely not the Lakers.
Nobody does. I don't think anybody does. I don't know if this is maybe wholly unprecedented.
The average sale, I think, is like 7 years or something like that.
Okay.
At least in modern times, not 7 months almost.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. So it sounds like Bob Iger's going to kind of be the head of the snake running the day-to-day operation. Kushner's going to be the big financial backing guy, and that's how it's going to work. We know that Bob Iger has a great relationship, obviously, with Adam Silver, with ABC, Disney, ESPN's relationship with the NBA over the past however long, 30, 40, 50 years it's been.
You know what else we know about Bob Iger? He's been a Clippers fan the last 25 years. On record.
I did hear you gloat about that on one of your most recent Clipper Talk podcasts.
There is audio of him on the Old Man and the Three podcast with JJ Redick saying, well, he grew up in New York, a Knicks fan, so he could never be a Lakers fan, so he adopted the Clippers when he came out to the West Coast.
So he's going to trade Luka Doncic to the Clippers for like sabotage purposes or something, and so the Clippers can win. Is that what you're saying?
He's going to destroy them from the inside. If
all right.
all of a sudden
Jim Buss already did that. You don't have to worry about this. It's already been done.
It's so funny. Okay, anyways.
That was funny, Bree. How dare you? I'm just saying, all I know is a Clippers fan now owns the Lakers. That's all I'm saying.
Great. Really? That's what you have to...
Green Goblin laugh. Let's go.
Pretty sad if that's what we have to go off of. Speaking of Clippers, former Laker, former Clipper, Jim Buss can't be blamed for this. Russell Westbrook was a Laker for a period of time in his career, and it was probably the darkest time of his career.
But that is the type of move he'd also sign off on.
1,000%. So Russell Westbrook announces his retirement earlier this week, obviously wins an MVP, the triple-doubles, which nobody had done since Oscar Robertson for years.
Oh, he messed around and had a few triple-doubles, all right.
He did.
4 seasons he averaged a triple-double, I believe.
Fairly polarizing, I think, as a player to a certain degree. I think you mentioned kind of half-assed, but I think there might have been an element of truth behind it. Like he's a bit of a stat stuffer. I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
I mean, there is video of him boxing out his own guys for rebounds. And then other times his big men letting him get the rebound. And they were justified in OKC by saying, well, we want him to push the break faster. I don't know. Some of the stats I think are a little bit inflated, not to diminish Russ. He's still an all-time great, top 75 player of all time. But when you talk about polarizing and divisive, the way I put it is this, and I always said this with Russ. I love watching Russell Westbrook play basketball,
but
I also would never want him on my team.
Right.
Because he's so erratic and out of control, and you just don't know what you're going to get.
I mean, I can think of multiple times in Oklahoma City at the peak of his powers, as our friend Brian Seaman would say. And, I mean, he can just go down the lane and run by anybody at any time that he wanted. But how many times did he stop and pull up for a 17-foot jump shot that clanked off the side of the backboard?
I can think of a few in Game 7 in 2016 against Golden State, and that 3-1 collapse.
Therein lies the issue. It's just like, if you have certain limitations, either work to make those better or just don't do it. Now, I think when the Houston Rockets had a bit of a resurgence in the bubble year in 2020.
With him and James Harden.
With him and James Harden, and he kind of played that role. And then the Lakers, I think, did a masterful job, a coaching job by Frank Vogel, and basically making him into a jump shooter and taking away the driving lanes. But before they could do that, he had a great run.
Yeah.
Filling into his role, doing what he was being tasked with or asked to do by Houston, just attack the paint relentlessly.
He had about a 3-month stretch where he played some of the best basketball of his career. I think he had a hamstring issue, though, either in the bubble or before it and throughout the hiatus, too. But it was a perfect team for him because you'd have 4 shooters on the floor and then Russ. So
It
they can
opens the
spread
lane.
the floor. Yeah, driving lanes all over the place.
So I agree with your assessment. He was great to watch. I would not have wanted him on my team. This was not Monday morning quarterbacking. Everybody said it the day that the Lakers traded for him that this was a god-awful trade. They're going to rue the day that they make this trade. He does not fit on a LeBron James and Anthony Davis team. And sure enough, that's how it ended. And it's unfortunate because he became a bit of a pariah with Laker fans, even though it wasn't his fault. He didn't do anything wrong.
But, I mean, it wasn't his fault. He was a vampire that sucked the energy out of the locker room, according to Dave McMenamin.
Well, I mean, he has a certain type of mercurialness, and he can have a bit of an attitude about him and doesn't suffer fools, if you want to use that sort of term.
He also just wants to make sure everybody has fun out there. And then gets LeBron to do a double take because he's like, what? We're trying to win. What are you talking about, Russ? Win, lose, or draw, just have fun.
Yeah, I had fun watching him. I'll say that.
I did too.
You'll be a Hall of Famer.
No, you can't write the story of the NBA without him. Like, he has a profound effect on the league. So he's an unforgettable player.
And by the way, it's not like he couldn't have won. Again, the Thunder had a 3-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
Did they?
They did.
You know, we talked a lot about snakes earlier. Maybe we can transition to KD's move going to the Golden State Warriors after that, and now talk about what Joe Lacob said recently to his Golden State Warriors fans.
Perfect transition. So Joe Lacob was doing an interview on the podcast earlier this week, and he says he doesn't like the criticism the organization has received for quote-unquote doing nothing this offseason. He says he doesn't understand the negativity surrounding the team. The fact that he says just because we didn't do anything doesn't mean we didn't try to do anything. And I guess he expects that to hold water for the fan base.
Yeah, it's like they're obviously going to tune you out when you say stuff like that. It's a results-driven business, and even if, the problem is the reporting for Golden State has said they were in on this guy, they were in on this guy, they were in Kawhi.
Giannis, Kawhi, Jaylen Brown. The Jaylen Brown, it sounds like they could have had, and they chose not to get him.
And when you have Steph Curry on your team and time is ticking and you're wasting an all-time great and not giving him a chance to compete for championships at the end of his career, and he's still a top 10 player in the league.
Let's break.
And out there, he is still that good. He demands so much attention. The gravity he has out there, shooting's the last thing to go, and he's the greatest shooter ever in NBA history. You got to go all in and give up those extra picks or whatever the assets are to make something happen.
Because they've done a great job with their picks anyway. James Wiseman's been great for them. Jonathan Kuminga's been phenomenal. Oh, wait. So, I mean, it's not like
they get him back if they want.
Yeah, great. Yeah. And by the way, people praising Bob Myers like some great GM. Okay, he's great, I guess, recruiting LeBron James on a podcast, or great at getting Kevin Durant after the salary cap went up in an anomalous offseason. Sure.
And let's not forget, Jerry West was allegedly the one who put his foot down about trading Clay for Kevin Love back in the day. And he said, no, we're not doing that.
Right. So I understand if I were a Warrior fan, to your point, Adam, you're just wasting away the final years of Steph Curry's career. And it's utterly ridiculous. And this has been going on for the last 3 or 4 years for them. They won the championship, was at 22, and they've been in a steady decline since then and have not improved the roster.
So it's really not that hard to figure out, Joe Lacob, or you probably should have this figured out. Just don't make those public statements. Like, just wear it.
Yeah.
Just hide. Do something else. We're not hiding. We still got one more segment left here, and the biggest debate of the night is coming up next.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Who is owning Christmas Day, NFL or NBA?
I was going to say Santa Claus or Jesus.
Okay, then there's that as well. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Whether you agree with us,
You're kind of both right.
or you think our takes are far-fetched,
And I say this again, I'm going to have to duck because people are going to swing at me.
this is what we do.
There's never been a radio show more simpatico with me.
We get you interacting.
Rob, I have a question for you.
How's LeBron going to continue to chase rings? This is ridiculous.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Ice Cube's Big 3 Season 9 is coming down to the wire. The playoffs are here. The action starts with the legendary Big 3 Celebrity Game. Then the Chicago Triplets, led by Montrezl Harrell and Coach Dr. J, take on Coach Gary Payton and the Boston Ball Hogs, followed by two-time MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champion Miami 305 facing Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. 3 games of the most physical, competitive, and nonstop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. You know what's slower than a pace car? Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast fun. With new games every week, you'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck in the slow lane, speed up with Chumba. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's go! You must have been busy, but The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington. We're breaking this down.
Every day I'm shuffling. Inside the WNBA, there's a whole lot going on, a lot of commotion, and so specifically when you have the issues that are between Dejounte Carrington and also Steffi Cunningham. And I mean, my gosh, think pieces everywhere, thesis, I don't care, thesaurus, dissertations. I mean, they're coming from everywhere. And a lot of people have a lot to say about really the last 72 hours or so.
Dejounte Carrington doesn't want to clarify what she meant by it, because in case you've been living under a rock, of course, over the weekend, she had a hard foul on Sophie Cunningham. You just mentioned it. Got her across the head and neck area. It gets reviewed, upgraded to a flagrant 2. She gets ejected. She doesn't speak to the media after the game, Carrington, that is, but she went and posted on her threads, white privilege tags Indiana Fever.
So I have to play to your point, Rob G. She didn't really address specifically, when she said white privilege, and she said what she didn't mean by that. I'm going to jump out on an assumption of what I believe she meant by that. I don't think she was saying white privilege is that I got kicked out of the game, because if we do a little research, Sophie Cunningham was kicked out of a game last year for a similar thing. And people were kicked out. You name the league. You want NBA, you want WNBA, people get kicked out of games. That's par for the course. So I don't believe it. She was saying for that. If I'm taking her for her word, even. What I believe she was saying is that had I did this on Emeka Ugumake or one of the Kia Jackson, the Asia Wilson, a black player in the WNBA, if I did this to one of them.
To get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcasted by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
When you guys think of preseason football,
I don't either, but okay, yes.
There's only one player I think of in the entire history of the NFL when I think of preseason football.
Really? Wait, can I guess? There's one.
You could guess.
Is it LaDainian Tomlinson?
No.
Who is it?
The one player I think of when I think of preseason football, Victor Cruz, because Victor Cruz almost came out of nowhere. That Jets-Giants game.
Yep.
And then after that preseason game, it felt like Victor Cruz went from like a bubble guy coming out of UMass
to a star
in the NFL.
Yes.
Just because of preseason football.
And because of a little salsa dance. Yes, but he had a moment and he made the most of it. He made the team, right? Changed his life. Yes, that's what Taylor likes. He's a walk-on football player at North Carolina. He likes those stories. True.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Here we go.
The Ben Maller Show.
General of Degenerates has arrived. Mendoza says he largely avoids the iconic Las Vegas Strip. He compared it to a childhood haunted house. Yeah. He only wears Raiders gear and stuff from Adidas. And he also has shut down social media until the season ends. So that's going to be, the Raiders season ends in January. So he'll have no social media until then. Wait, there's more. Mendoza also said the playbook is my girlfriend, close quote. Playbook is my girlfriend, and has largely decided no ladies. You ladies are toxic. You're toxic, you ladies. And no partying. Poindexter ain't partying. And he describes himself as willing to be, quote, psycho about football.
Ben Maller. Weeknights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Godson Company. Live. Cavino and Rich. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
FS1. Lock in live sports and live shows on your TV. FS1.
Right now.
Find FS1 on your television or visit foxsports.com for details.
You guys give up or you're thirsty for more?
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
For the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune in to Fox Sports Radio's Countdown, presented by BetMGM. Every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific, we will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
All right, before we get out of here, we got to talk about it. Ennis Cantor Freedom.
No, nope, absolutely not. So long, folks. Hope y'all love dead air for the next 5 minutes.
All right. NBA versus NFL on Christmas. Who is owning the birth of our Savior? Who's doing it?
It's a classic depiction of good versus evil.
Because for years, this was the NBA's turf.
That's
In
right.
fact, a lot of people felt like the season actually tipped off on Christmas, where you had 5 or 6 games, and we still do.
Yeah.
But they're not alone now.
No, they aren't.
Encroaching on their territory. Offsides is the NFL.
You know, you mentioned Terry Tate, the Office linebacker, last week on the show. I think that's what the NFL basically came in and did to the NBA on Christmas. Came in and kicked their ass out.
The NBA is getting ragdolled?
So last year, the NFL's triple header averaged 22.9 million viewers across all their platforms. The NBA's 5-game slate averaged 5.5 million viewers. Now,
you know, Britney Spears sells a lot of albums. I don't give a damn.
So here's what I'll say too. It's just like, yes, there's going to be different audiences, there are people who are fans of one league and not the other, but they're also crossover fans, and that's who you're fighting for, the eyeballs you're fighting for on a day like Christmas. I don't think that the NBA should move because I don't know where they're going to move to. It's kind of a tradition. I want to say a tradition unlike any other, like the Masters, but you expect there to be a slate of NBA games on Christmas Day. If the NFL wants to muscle in and do their thing, sure. But where else is the NBA going to go, I guess is my question.
You just got to present it like it's a great sports day. Hey, the more the merrier. It's Christmas.
By the way, I've seen people do that, Adam. They're like, here is the list of play-by-play on Christmas Day. And it was literally, from like a West Coast standpoint, from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., there are sports on. Literally every second of the entire day.
Well, that's fine.
Sports.
The gift that keeps on giving on Christmas.
Yeah.
We're just loaded with games in multiple sports.
Yeah, it's like for us, there's a certain sect of people. I like to think that I'm one of them, and obviously I love the NFL, but there's something special about the NBA and the slate of NBA games on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That maybe I'm just waxing nostalgic. I don't know, but it would feel weird if the NBA didn't have a wide swath of games to choose from or to watch on Christmas.
Well, how long ago did the NFL start this? 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I believe.
That's when I first started seeing our guy Noah
speaking.
Eagle on Netflix with Greg Olson or somebody as his color man on Christmas calling a big game.
Because if you remember, there was a while where I believe the NFL will actually
do
slate of games to Christmas Eve, so they wouldn't play on Christmas Day.
Wasn't there a Raiders Saints game on Christmas Eve before?
There might have been. I feel like they've done this. I think that they've done this on New Year's Eve in the past too, where they wouldn't play on New Year's Day to help like preserve like the day for college or whatever. So the NFL,
nobody's playing fair anymore. Nobody cares.
The NFL does not give a rip.
Your day, my day, no. It's
our day.
We're fighting for this day. We're competing at all times. And remember what LeBron James said the first year the NFL did this after a game, I think, against Golden State?
LeBron James.
He came out and really tried to push the narrative that this is the NBA's day still. He said that.
This is an NBA day. Give us our day back or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure Adam Silver loved it, and he was being a good ambassador for the NBA.
It
But
fell on deaf ears.
I don't think Roger Goodell gave an F.
Evening, Commissioner.
Nor should he. Nor should he. Everybody
minute
their own space right now. Every single league is.
I think, yeah, everybody for themselves. This is competition. This is big business. The NFL is trying to compete with Apple and Google.
Right.
Like that's what
Roger
they're
Goodell
looking
said
at
that.
because they've already beaten every other league.
I'd also heard a notion like, oh, maybe the NBA can move the NBA Cup, and maybe a way to combat the NFL is have some NBA Cup elimination games be played on Christmas. It's like you can't do that. Those games aren't even locked in yet. There's logistical issues. No matter what the NBA does,
30
early in the season, this is the third to final week in the NFL season. All these games can be very important. Important NFL games are going to beat NBA games in the regular season any day of the week.
Regardless if it's a cup game or not. And as much as I love the NBA and some of the stuff they've done, like the in-season tournament, I'm still not on board with the NBA Cup.
Not a fan, huh?
I'm not there yet.
10.
It's my bad. I'm not used to this soccer style.
5 seconds.
Mark, thank you guys for listening. Much appreciated. Project NIL is next here on Fox Sports Radio.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ice Cube's big